Happy St. Patrick's Day. We're here. It's another lovely day in the state of Slovenia. Well, there's nothing wrong here. It's a brother and sister enjoying a beautiful day on some beach somewhere on the coast. Wow. I'm not going to make fun of that kid anyway. In fact, what could I say? I mean, there was a lot of range in this picture, a lot of range in that family genetics. But you know what? He looks like a good kid. What are you gonna say? But um, the sister, wow, wowza, 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 wow! It is what it is. It kind of got cooler tonight, which I'm not appreciating. That it's more of the wind. I thought the winter was over, and it kind of is, but it's kind of not. And I like it was too soon. Like last week was really nice, 50s, 60s, really nice. And today was like 42 with like a cold wind, and you're like, son of a bitch, and like cloudy. Like, come on. On St. Patrick's, man, we have a Casa de Sanco Toro. Look how nice Sanco makes cigars. Flawless looking. Flawless looking cigar. Time to say goodbye. Now, this cigar has time on it. Quite some time. Quite some time. I don't know if Gio's. Is Gio coming on? What's up, PG? Both. I think PG and Gio both might come on. I don't know how it's going to work out, though. I'm going to, I guess, message them both. Um, we're just hanging out. We're just hanging out. Wow, the wind is kind of windy. Now Geo did ask to come on first, I guess. But yeah, you know what though? Fuck Geo though. I mean, I think. Look, why don't you come on for? I can't. I'm not gonna choose favorites here. Whoever is here and wants to come on first. I sent both. I sent both of the things out. What's that? Wait, you telling me? Do I think Zelensky wasn't diverting funds? Hey, hey, yeah. Kind of windy, huh? What the hell is this?
Nope.
Hold on a second. Why did you do it to PG? I said PG said he was coming on.
Oh, I could get off.
Oh well, now you're making me look stupid.
I'm staying in the cold, so I can give you 5 minutes if you want. I can hop off. I'll get
Dude,
PG in here.
you sound like a $20 cracker. You're like, I'll give you 5 minutes, man, around the world. Yo, PG, he just fucked you, man.
Nah, I'm not trying to step on toes. I'll hop off. I'll hop off. I'm not
No,
trying to be.
well, you're already there, man. You're already there, man. It's all right, bro. No, I thought it was him. I just saw that thing came on, light my cigar, hit the button.
No,
Whatever.
let PG go on. Let PG go on.
I'm not letting him or not letting him. I said I sent the invites to both. Yo, man, why you want to fuck with Richie, man? What's up, man? You feel okay?
I'm freezing. I'm freezing. It's like 30. It's like 35 degrees outside right now. Feels like it.
I thought winter was over. What happened?
I don't know. Oh shoot! I was gonna smoke AS. All right, I'm off. I'm off. Enjoy. God bless.
What's
Peace.
AS?
Angel share. Let's go. This is sick. Let's
Oh,
go. All right.
what?
Bye. Love you. Peace.
I don't have the angel share. What the fuck is going? What was that? What was that? Oh, here's the problem now. Oh, I never said I had the angel share. Here's the problem, PG. I have your phone number under two things as PG the gentleman and Goat. I sent the request to Goat, and the problem is once somebody comes on, I can't send more invitations because it keeps saying that he's still here. So Gio fucked you. Hey, bro.
What's up, man?
So that's the rules. I had to invite both of the people in the beginning.
Uh-huh.
And once one person comes on, I can't invite anymore because it still says they're still here.
Okay, got you.
So
All
that's
right,
it,
man.
bro. Well, bro, I'm
that's
gonna
all
give
good.
you 3 minutes. Let's see if you could cut, light, and actually start that cigar in 3
Oh
minutes.
no. Socko already cut it for me, dude.
All right, go ahead.
He
Just go for
he
it.
he knew.
Because
Dude,
see, PG, people are saying that you're a bot, you're not real, you don't know the smoke. They're saying you're dragging my show down. I mean,
yeah.
dude, I'm losing my international support
Well,
here, man.
my our good friend Socko, dude. He saw that bull episode, and I think he was so moved by it. He said, "I wonder what you can do with the angel share." So he hooked me up, man.
Did he give you two? One for throwing and one for smoking?
Yeah. Well, I already have one, so I do have two. One for throwing and one for smoking.
Yes.
So
Yeah. Okay,
this
so
is
basically, bro, these haters don't understand. You got a stunt double.
so this is
Did you hear what I
either
said?
yeah. Do I
I
have it?
like that. You got a
Yeah.
cigar stunt double.
Yeah, that's true. That's true, dude. Do you think I should light both sides?
Yeah.
Well, dude, it's not Gio. It's not only out of respect, bro. I've been wanting to smoke the Angel Share for you, dude. That's you're the one who recommended the
Yeah,
Angel
make
Share.
sure
This
you
is
overcook it with the torch slider so you get
yeah.
where it's like you want to like well done. You want to like make it
Okay.
crispy.
Yeah,
And here's the
yeah.
thing: you want to burn the sides. Go like 4 inches on the wrapper on the side. Go like
Okay.
this. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
I
how you
was
use
gonna
the
burn a
torch slider.
I was
Yeah,
gonna burn a line through the center of it, so the
yeah.
smoke can kind of come in like this.
Also, take the tip. Do you have peanut butter? Stick the
Yeah.
cap in peanut butter. It really helps the
Okay.
airflow.
I'll be right back.
Make sure it's crunchy fucking Jif. Bunch of cocksuckers.
I got medium.
What do you got?
I only have medium, Jeff.
Hmm. Sacco, how you doing? I'm getting nuttiness, a bread-like sweetness, creamy vanilla, black pepper. It's a nice cigar. It's a Casa de Sacco. It's an aged Connecticut. I believe it's Ecuadorian Connecticut, but the wrapper grade is very nice. On this chilly March, late March madness, it was warmer last week. We went backwards, but that's okay. I think tomorrow's gonna be better. Why does this guy got his cock sucking brights on? Why? Why do like people in a town where no one's here? Like, why do people got to pull up with their brights? It's annoying. No, where did PG go?
Sorry,
Did, did,
I'm lighting it in the corner because the wind's so high.
Bro, use your jacket, man. Like turn yourself into a turtle.
The wind is too high for that.
No, it's not.
Or my jacket's not big enough. It's one of the two.
Bro, I'm looking at your light bulbs, man. The light bulbs aren't blowing big enough. Don't lie to me. Bro, every time
I'll
you go to
try.
light a cigar, some kind of crazy shit happens every time you go to light a cigar. And like, what happens? All of a sudden, like time goes, like it's like this. All of a sudden, like Doctor, what's that? Doctor No, whatever. All of a sudden, it's
Yeah.
like ripping space time open. 20 minutes goes by. What the fuck? We got people from different ethnic groups making slurs at you, like fuck this cocksucker.
One sec. It's finally lighting up. All right. Oh my God, Richie. What the hell, man? All right.
Are you good?
No. So I way overcooked this. No, I'm playing with you. Yeah, it's finally lit. Jokes aside, Sako hooked me up. He gave me a few cigars, so I'm very grateful for that. And I'll be smoking them soon, in order, and we'll see.
Do you
But this
got
is the
the
first
cigar
one.
lit? Do you have any flavor yet?
No, I haven't puffed it yet, but it is lit. Hold on. I think I could overcook it though. It's like regular
Yeah,
cook.
take it easy, man. You
let
just
me cook
toast
it
it
more.
for a couple of seconds and what the fuck what's
Let
going
me
on?
just cook it a little more though.
I mean, I got a BBW show to Chocha on TikTok, and I'm trying to understand what's going on
With the cigar?
with everything. I don't know how. Yeah, that's a mystery. This is a mystery that people are allowed to show their gooch now on TikTok.
I can't
What's
help you,
going
man.
on?
I could barely get the cigar lit. I can't tell you about that.
It's
I'm
not,
struggling on square one.
bro. Come on, man. Come on.
How many cigars do you think I got to smoke with you to sync your channel completely? How many till we get 0 viewers?
Bro, what is you, bro? So like, take a match and draw. Do you understand how this works?
Good cigar.
Are you actually smoking the cigar?
That'd be funny if I wasn't even smoking it.
I mean, it's working, right?
Mm-hmm. It'll get there in a sec.
Well, I think from what I can see, maybe you were toasting it for a while, but not pulling any in. And then when you let it go, it cools down, and then you're like, "Oh, I'm not getting nothing." Like you could toast, but then once you stop toasting, you might have to do a little more fire and then pull a puff in. You know what I'm saying? No, If you just try to toast and not do any more fire, and then try to pull it in to draw enough, it might not be enough. Does that make any sense?
No.
If you're trying to light your cigar with only toasting, like no active flame near the foot and pulling it in,
Yeah.
that might be an issue starting the cigar.
I haven't lit to puff a cigar in like 20 or more cigars, maybe 30 cigars. It's just windy. Fine.
Well, that's what we got to the bottom of it. Though. You like to light your cigar by just toasting it and not actually.
Yeah. I don't like to puff on it.
Okay, so that's where the issue is. That's where the issue is. Are you getting anything?
That's not an issue, man.
What's that?
That's not an issue, man. That's the correct way to light a cigar.
I respect. Well, man, you do listen. I'm not telling you what to do, but if you're saying it's not lighting. I'm just. Are you fucking with Richie? I don't understand what you're trying to do.
No, you know what? No. See that it sounds like I'm fucking around, but that's true. And I'll leave that little bit of information for
Bro,
people.
I've seen it, bro.
That's fine.
I've seen the 3 matches. I've seen the match. If
Yeah.
you just do matches, you know what I'm saying? Though, yeah, you could get it going. Okay, sure. But
3 matches is a solid technique, man.
I agree with that, but that they're not using a jet lighter though. I've seen the 3 matches, and I can see that, especially with lighter cigars like Cubans.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of this fat BBW. I just, is what it
That's
is.
that's your image, bro.
I'm tired of looking at her. Anyways, you like the cigar?
Can't tell you yet. I'll tell you in a couple minutes.
Hmm.
It's not fully going because it's hard to get it completely lit without overlighting it in the wind.
You're not gonna overlight it, bro. Just don't let it go out and then have to touch. You can't like re-toast the cigar. So you know what I'm
saying? I'm getting a little plum off of it. It's pretty interesting. It's like a lighter plum than the other Opus.
Well,
I'm getting spiciness, wood, and plum to start, but much lighter than regular Opus. It's like, to me, this is like 45% to darkness. It's like on the lighter side.
It's lighter than regular Opus in every way. In flavor, lighter in body, and finish, lighter in spice, but it's still very enjoyable. And in some ways, you can hold the smoke a lot on that and really enjoy it. Enjoyable cigar. Hey, Uncle Larry's here's for the news. A pimp walked into a church and he punched the bishop, saying, "This is what you get for not paying his hoe." Now, I don't know what that meant. I don't know if on Saturday night the bishop didn't pay a hoe and then the pimp came in there. However, though, they said that this pimp has been known to go to public places in full pimp costume and just smacking people, saying, "You didn't pay my hoe." It's kind of like
good.
Kind of like his shit. This is bit. It's a good way to catch a felony. It's a good way and promote your business.
Nice so far. Also, hello, Sacco. Hello, Gio. And hello, Uncle Larry. Smoking with Sacco was so fun, man. I didn't really talk about that. I won't talk about that much, but he's great company, man. Very interesting guy. Like, effortlessly
Is Sacco real or is Sacco AI?
100% real, but I might be AI. So then who's to say?
Did you like Sacco's bread?
Dude, the bread was fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
The pizza was phenomenal, dude. I did want
he made
pizza.
You pizza?
It turned out, dude, he made pizza, dude. He said, "You want pizza?" And he actually showed up with pizza. The pizza was really, really good. The crust was not at all what I was expecting. It was like this is not interesting to talk about, but it was very like, had the puff to it. It was like very
No,
thin but chewy, delicious.
no, I
Really
think
good.
Sacco's pizza is very interesting. Bro, the wind tonight is aggressive. I thought we were done with fucking winter.
Me too.
Shit.
There's an interesting sweetness to the cigar.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cigar, man.
I can't
It's a
quite
banger.
pick up on what it is.
It's a banger. It's a godlike cigar. It's the angel shit.
Now, do you prefer this to the regular Opus?
No, but I'm glad it exists.
Mm-hmm.
And the benefit of that is I've smoked 3 of those in one night. Being that it's lighter, so picture like you got a 357 Magnum. I'm not saying the regular Opus is some crazy strong cigar, but just bear me out for the analogy. Listen to it.
Okay.
You got full power Magnum rounds, right? Now 357 Magnum, okay, it's technically 35 caliber, 3.357. Anyways, now 38 is actually the same bullet, but they measure the case, so it's 38. It's the same shit. 38 came out first. 357 Magnum was a more powerful version. The point is this: if you're shooting Magnums all day, it's not so comfortable, but it's a great time. I mean, I can shoot. I'm just most people. It's like a lot more recoil. So when you go with the 38 Special, it's more pleasant to shoot, and you can shoot all day. So with that cigar, it's not as strong or heavy as the Opus X. I'm not saying that's a Magnum cigar. My point is saying is when you have any cigar and you make one that's kind of similar but a little more comfortable, like a step down, it's not necessary, but at the same time, maybe that's good more for a morning walk on the beach or in the pool, or you could smoke 2 of those in one day and not feel like your power's blown out. Where the you know what I'm saying? So
Feels
it's
a
just
little
good
more
as an option.
usable. Yeah, a little more anytime.
Correct. But there's times where I'd rather have the Opus X. And if I had to choose one overall, existing is the Opus X because you have to have the original to have other versions of it. So I can't just shit on and go, oh, I wish this was not. You get what I'm saying, though. So the Opus X is still the original OG. And from there, that's a very usable version. That's all I'm saying, though.
Yeah. Also,
it's like sparring. You know what I'm saying, though?
I appreciate Uncle Larry saying that he says he's sorry that I had to endure all the negative statements. That's pretty funny, dude. It's all good.
Well, that's what it is. Now, this cigar is smoking fine. My draw's just a little snug.
Okay.
It's a great cigar, great construction, but we know that the only issue we had with the next batch with St. Sacco's, I think he's either going to just use slightly less tobacco or go up a gauge. I think just slightly less tobacco might be the easier route.
Is that the one that has the Pennsylvania in it? Because I believe
it's the
CVS
Connecticut
Sacco.
shade. I don't remember. I have the list at home, but
one of his Connecticut shades has Pennsylvania in it, and to me, it had a strong Pennsylvania flavor, which was quite nice. We actually smoked it together. I think you were smoking the one of the La Bambas, but I don't remember exactly.
Great quality. Everything's great about this, man. It's a great time. I can't wait for the 2.0 Saccos where we're gonna have perfect air because once you throw that into the mix, it's gonna be perfection.
I really like about the Casa de Sacos that it doesn't feel like there's any filler, like not literal filler tobacco, but I mean like filler tobacco meaning just like throwaway tobacco or just stuff that's in there to burn.
Everything. He wasn't skipping on cost. He was using
tons of flavor, man. Lots of.
That's where these companies, man, make a lot of money because you could put a nice rapper, a nice band, but you get some real cheap shit filler, and you know what I'm saying? No, where it's like, it is what it is. That's the majority of your weight in the cigar, right? That's where you're gonna save money.
I like the cigar. I almost get like a lemonade flavor from it.
Well, if you didn't like the cigar, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah.
Dude, no, the Angel Share is a fantastic cigar. Is it smoking right?
I think it's smoking okay. It's fine.
Yeah, as long as it's pulling. Yeah, stay on it. Don't let it go out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I'm not trying to bust your balls, but like the way you started off, it's almost like you were over analyzing it, and then you were stressing me out. Like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? And then Next, we're gonna have like Elon Musk and Donald Trump here busting your balls.
That'd be great, dude. If they want to come down and tell me I can't smoke a cigar, I'd be happy. That'd be good.
Well, now I figured I reviewed what you're doing. Okay, you're
Mhm.
trying to light by not puffing on the flame.
Yeah, 100%.
I get that, and I can see that working better with a torch. I mean, with the match.
hmm
Like 3-match rule, I guess. But with torching, I don't know.
So the yeah, that's true. With torching, I don't know, but the Sahakians, who are the owners of Davidoff London, there's a video of them lighting cigars, and I tried a bunch of different methods, um, and that's the one that I felt was uh, adulterated the flavor of the cigar the least. It started it off on the best foot, and the flavor was the best overall with the cigar, and overall from the beginning. Is if I don't puff, if I don't draw into the cigar with lighter with flame on it. So that's been my experience, and that's what I've stuck to. Um, it really improves the experience for me considerably, actually. So that's what I try to do. But what I usually do is with a gas lighter, like a butane lighter. And that's when it's best. If it's not windy and you have a butane lighter, it works perfectly.
Well, it is what it is, my friend.
The other trick to it,
For me, it's going to be 1 or 2 matches toasting, soft, gentle heat,
yeah,
and then a quick few puffs, because you're not going to overcook it with a match, and I'm good. But if that's what you like it, I'm like almost there. It's like a quasi version of that, because
right.
I'm always gonna warm it up. That way, I use the least amount of heat to draw in.
Mhm.
But with a match too, you're only drawing heat on the surface. The match is
Mhm.
not penetrating, an inch into the cigar like a torchlight. You gotta be careful. If you're like
Right.
torching like this and if you're torching and you're pulling in, holy shit,
Then you're just sucking in fire at that point. But
Yeah, that's like getting
yeah,
fisted and sucking a corn on the cob. Like you're getting it from both sides.
more on the cob. It's a crazy barbecue, dude. The other trick with lighting
Oh,
them.
and the side news though, um, where was I today? I was at a bagel shop in the morning to get the Irish bagels for my daughter in New York when I was there,
Mhm.
and they had a sign, bro. And I was gonna wait till Friday to announce this, but at the bagel shop in Selden, New York,
Mm.
right next to Lidl,
Mhm.
there's a big sign right next to all the bagels, bro. A big poster, and I don't know if I should share this, but I'm gonna share it, bro. You ready?
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
There's a big sign at the fucking bagel shop in Selden, New York, right next to Lidl food store. Go there tomorrow. I'm not lying. Big fucking sign. Know what it says?
Right.
Baloney is back. Baloney is back. I
Okay.
was waiting online, and I had so many questions. First off, where the fuck did Baloney go? Did he
Yeah.
owe gambling debts? Did he whack a guy and he had to go lamb it out in Boynton Beach? Where did Baloney go?
I like mortadella. Does that count as bologna?
The point is, though, how does the deli meat leave and come back, and why do you announce it's back?
Sounds like they had extra bologna and they needed they needed a way to sell it, man. Remind people about bologna.
Yeah. But that's like the last meat you're gonna order at a bagel place. Like, hey guys, bologna's back. Like nobody wants this shit. At a
That's true.
deli, okay, but with bagels, what do you do? A bagel and
Yeah.
bologna? Is that like the super poor man's lox?
I've never tried that. I'd be open to trying it. Doesn't sound like the worst thing.
It's easy on the wallet, I guess, dude. Since when? Since there's popping bottles at a nightclub, and then there's lox and bagels. 16.75 for lox, bagels, tomato, and onion.
Wow.
No coffee, no juice. Almost 20 bucks. Are you fucking kidding me? A coffee
I don't know,
and
dude.
a
You want to say poppy bottles versus that, or you want to say getting robbed at gunpoint versus that?
what's the difference? I mean, you think about the ratio. You know what I'm saying? Though, like, dude, imagine like you two of your friends. You're like, yo, man, it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock in the morning. You had a late night at the bar. I go, let's get some bagels, man. I'm buying. What do you want? I'll take a bagels, the logs, and cream cheese. And the other guy's like, yeah, I'll take the same. Yo, make sure you give me some donuts, coffee, and orange juice, and a Snapple. Bro, by the time you leave, you're $73 in. You're like, what the fuck did I get, bro? I think about that, man. Like, think about that.
That's nuts, man. I want to say one more thing about the lighting so that people don't get the wrong idea. The key about lighting a cigar and not puffing on it is you have to toast it until it's completely lit. And you can't be shy about it. Has to really be lit. That's one trick. Because the other thing is then you leave it for a while. And what I like to do is I like to periodically blow out of the cigar. And if you can still taste any of that burnt component, that charred component, it's not ready to smoke. So I'll blow out from like 3 times, periodically until
I'm
it's
going to
ready.
go on a limb
And
and
then you
say
can
most
start.
guys aren't going to do this method, but I respect it. If
Yeah.
that's what you want to do.
Well, you preach soft, gentle heat a lot, right? So to
Correct.
me, this is the most soft, gentle heat method. Like if you take it to the extreme of the idea, that's as soft and gentle as I have figured out how to be with a
So
lighting a
because
cigar.
I don't like torches going up it, but with the
Mhm.
match, like after one match or 2 matches, depending on the cigar, then I'm going to pull some into it. But I'm not like holding the match right to it, some distance, and because I want to make sure I think it's going, man.
But what I'm saying is, if the goal is to light it as gently as possible, that's the most gentle way I've been able to figure out how to light it. You see what I mean?
Yeah, but I get it.
Obviously, you're not going to do it, and you've smoked way more cigars than me, and you have expertise in
No,
the
I mean,
situation.
I'm not even saying I haven't done it,
Yeah.
but I don't recall the last time I done that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, though? And also, I think that could vary on the cigar. Some cigars might the blend is just it take more likely to it. Also, if the cigar's not super wet. You know what I'm saying, though?
Mhm. So, but yeah. So the point about that is just that I think that's the most soft and gentle I've been able to figure out. It takes more time, and it takes focus, but to me, it's worth it. Might not be worth it to everybody. The other thing, though, is I don't think you could smoke more than one cigar a week or maybe 2 cigars a week. Do that, and then you'll get the full flavor. So you really got to take it really spaced out if you want to get every note out of the cigar. That's my opinion. Moving on from that.
So you like a clean
Yeah.
palate. You like to have a cigar every 3 days.
Mm-hmm. Something like that. Either 3 days or a week.
All right, if that's what works for you.
Yeah. Well, if I really want to get everything out of a cigar, that's all I'm saying. If my opinion, what I can tell people is, in my experience, if you want to taste a cigar, you want to get 100% out of it, try that. You know what I mean? Take a week off, do the really slow method, blow out until it's not giving you any char, and then smoke it slow. And there you go. And don't forget to retrohale. If you're not retrohale and you got to retrohale just a small amount, if you retrohale too much one time, you blow out your palate. So got to be very careful. It's a very almost meditative. It's like a balance beam. Or not a balance beam. I'm not that good at balance beam. So, but you know what I mean. It's just very.
You have a very Zen,
Mhm. Exactly.
almost Buddhist way of lighting. You're trying to do no harm to the
Right.
cigar while lighting it. Almost
Like a Zen art.
almost like what's that meat they have in Japan where they massage it before they kill it?
Is it Wagyu?
Wagyu, yeah.
So now that we got that out of the way, I want to say about the cigar, because hopefully Gio will be watching at some point. It's not blowing my choach compared to the Opus X. I really like the Opus X, and that really woke me up. But what I really like about this is I'm getting almost a lemonade flavor, and I'm getting some of the spicing coming in. It's like the Opus X, but much lighter. It's kind of like a more sleek version. If that makes
It
sense.
has a nice buildup, though.
Mhm.
It's the kind of cigar that I would hold the smoke on that to get more out of it, though. But hold the lot of smoke. It's a great cigar. I like it. It's refreshing. I like it. It's a refreshing Opus X.
I agree with you. Refreshing
You know what it's like?
Yeah.
It's like a diet Opus X. Same great flavor.
Yeah.
Half the calorie, like a light beer. You're like, I don't feel like having a heavy beer today. oh, get the light, get the you'll get a light lager or something like that. Yeah, it's a little less heavy, but and maybe it's what you want, refreshing. I don't know. I'm trying
Well,
to give you
no,
an example.
no, I agree with you. I think you're right on. It's almost like a lager versus like a stout. Like the Opus X more like a stout or something.
Yeah, I
More
just look
full.
at it as like, yeah, I mean, Budweiser and Bud Light. I'm not, you know what I'm trying to say, like similar, but
hmm
one is just a lighter, whatever.
Uncle Larry says cigar smoking is spiritual for him. There you go. I don't know if I would
Yeah.
go so far as to say
No,
spiritual,
if I'm smoking
but I
cigars
would
by
say it's
myself,
meditative for me. Yeah.
no, if I'm smoking with cigars by myself in the forest, or if I'm
hmm
reviewing in the forest or reviewing by
hmm
water and like in nature, it's a real beautiful experience,
Yeah.
which I'm looking forward to when the weather warms up again. Holy shit! Going back to my spot, I have one of the great spots to review, and I don't even know about this week. And I think it's gonna be maybe 50s this week, and then next week it's saying again back in the 40s. Like, come on, man, come on, shit.
It's too bad. Yeah. Um,
Because
what was I
especially when
gonna
you
say?
throw in like
Yeah.
the March wind, March has
hmm
some crazy fucking wind, bro.
hmm
Like gale force winds, and then that like in like that rainy and like 40 degrees, you're like, this is not nice. What the
Yeah.
fuck, Come on, man. Who gives a shit? Well, anyways, do you remember when this person was in charge of nuclear waste? That was a few years ago.
That's cool, dude. There's a cigar called this. There's a cigar called the Sosa Classic, which is now sold out and it discontinued. But it was made by Fuente, and you could get it for like $5-6. And
What was it?
it called the Sosa Classic. It was the first non-Cuban cigar. Backyard Cigars has an episode on it. It's the first non-Cuban cigar that ranked highly on Cigar Aficionado, and it opened the door for non-Cuban cigars. And he tells the story. It's interesting, but it actually reminds me a little bit of this, which is crazy
How
because it was a
how
cheap
long
cheap
ago
cigar,
was
but it
it?
was great. When it first made waves, I think it was in the 90s. I'm not sure. I don't remember exactly, but it was a while ago.
I'd never heard of that shit.
Yeah, but
I
it's
never heard
cool.
of that shit.
But I like how this is almost like a sports car versus the Opus X, like a Bentley or something. You know what I mean? A heavier, more powerful,
Yeah,
deeper,
that
richer
cigar,
car.
it's more refreshing than Opus X. It's a little
hmm
lighter on its feet. So, to me, it just gives you a different perspective of Opus X, which I like.
Yeah, I like it. It's really
Yeah.
good, man. You know what I think? I can see why Gio likes this because it's very, very easy to smoke, very beautiful, very inviting, very delicious, and you want more. It's not burning you out. It's not weighing you down. It's pretty cool. I mean, that's a really interesting blend, and I like it better
Yeah,
than
and
the
due
Lost
to
City for sure.
overall, I think it
hmm
combusts very well. So if you do
hmm
go, not that those cigars, when you go to lounge, they're going
Yeah,
to be sitting around for years
yeah,
because they're going to sell out probably in a week or faster. But
yeah.
because of the lighter tobacco in that compared to the Opus X,
hmm
even just the lighter wrapper or maybe a little lower priming across the board, it combusts very well. So, you know what I'm saying, though? I think it smokes faster than the regular Opus X too, though.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I think cigars can be a spiritual experience, or not a spiritual, but a meditative experience. I think they could be an analytical experience, or they could be a social experience. I think that's something I wasn't expecting as
well,
much,
I think that's all. I
but
think all
yeah,
that's a
it's
state of
really fun.
mind. That's like a state of mind. You could be getting chocha and like you're seeing like your future. You're like, oh, she should be my wife, and like
hmm
you can have 5 kids and a white picket fence, and like a woman you really love, right? And then
hmm
there's other chocha, and you're like, I don't think she's that fresh, and you're analytically reviewing it, or you're like, there's way too much space in here. And so like,
Yeah.
there's different. You could do the same thing and have different state of minds. You know what I'm saying, though?
Well, yeah, sure, but I guess what I mean is, um, I think there's different peaks for a cigar. You can have an analytical
You
peak.
never reviewed chocha while you were getting chocha, like live reviewing.
I don't know if I've had a live.
Not like on YouTube. I mean, like,
I don't think I. I don't think that. I think in that situation I tend to be involved because I think what you're talking about is very much an act of I don't know. I want to say like I don't know how to put this in very polite words, but it's like an act of teamwork, I guess. I mean, you got to be on the same page. So
I
there's a
guess
lot
what I'm
going
saying
on.
is
You
too,
can't be
if
in your
you're
own
with the
head about it.
woman that you're not really that attracted to,
Hmm.
and you're wearing a Jimmy, it could go much longer than what it is, so you have more time to review. That's all I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying, though?
I think if you're in that situation, I would recommend getting out of that situation. I don't think that's a good use of time.
No, but you got your own. You got your reputation on the line. You know what I'm saying, though? A win's a win. You know what I'm saying?
In what sense, brother?
The only way to get out of it,
You
you know what I'm
proving it
saying,
to
though?
her?
No, I'm just like you don't want to like. Okay, there's been a few times where like there's women like while you're banging them, you're like, "Oh, I don't like this woman, or like it just didn't go where I thought it would be. But you can't pull out now. You got to finish. You got to finish.
um,
You know what I'm saying, though?
yeah. Well, what I'm saying with a cigar is that you can reach different peaks. I think you can have like when I was smoking with Sacco, I was having a phenomenal time, and
Yeah.
we're chatting, and the conversation is interesting, and we're talking about the cigar, and it's a fun time, and you're wrapped up in that thing, and that is a peak for a cigar. Now, I don't think you're necessarily going to get, for example, like as analytical as if you were sitting alone, you got a super clean palate, not drinking anything, and you're just locked in, focused. You get to get all sorts of little notes, and it's going to be a lot more clear to you. And that is another type of peak, but it's giving you
But
something different.
if you're also only looking at the cigar as far as flavor,
Uh-huh.
that's only enjoying it physically.
Hmm.
And that's anything. You can watch a movie and physically go, I like the plot. And then there's aspects about a movie that is not just physical.
Hmm.
The movie makes you happy, or the movie makes you sad, or the movie makes you angry, or the movie just puts you in a good mood. You can't write that in a movie, but there's a vibe. So there's some when you have a cigar,
Hmm.
sometimes you just the cigar, forget about the flavor. There's cigars that like you come back to and you're like, I just always have a good time with that cigar. Does that
Right.
make any
I,
sense?
I agree with you. So I think that's getting more into being like transported or having a singular personal experience. And I think that's the other peak that you can have with a cigar, because you can also have an experience with a cigar where the blend is fascinating and you're able to pick through it. And that might be very interesting. So you could have it on the flavor level, the physical level. You could have it on a what you call a spiritual level, but I wouldn't necessarily call it spiritual, but an emotional level, let's say. And then you can have it on a social level. And those are the three peaks that I've experienced. Anyway, I don't know what we're
Yeah, I
talking
mean, I'm
about there.
not going to say that I haven't enjoyed cigars driving because I have. At the
Hmm.
same time, driving is like the worst thing for cigars because you're driving, the window, the air's coming in. It's at the same time though, I've been on long rides, you're like, fuck, I need a cigar. So
Yeah,
in a way, even though it's a lower experience for the cigar because of the wind
right.
and the smoke, like if you have the window open this much at 80 miles an hour, but at the same time though, that cigar is there for a different purpose. It's more for the mind, just so you can enjoy something, even though that's not the best experience with that cigar.
Hmm.
But you make any sense though?
Yeah, you kind of get it's kind of it's like a peak of improving a moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if the moment like is not that interesting and then you make it interesting via a cigar, maybe that could be another one. I haven't done that, but it sounds plausible.
Yeah, like driving cross country, I've driven to Colorado.
Yeah.
No, yeah, I've driven to Colorado. I've driven back from Colorado to New York.
Hmm.
I've driven from Colorado to Florida. And there were cigars smoked. You know what I'm saying though?
This is an extremely delicious cigar.
Yeah.
It's surprising me the way it's starting to open up and
Oh,
unfold.
yeah.
I'm not that deep into it, but you can see it's burning
In my
fine.
opinion, I would
Uh-huh.
get rid of the ash too because it's not that strong of a cigar. I want that
Okay.
more intense. That's my
I'll
opinion
tap
on that
I'll
cigar.
tap it in a sec. Yeah. Um, I get this lemonade note, but I also got at one point I got
When you
almost
say
like a
lemonade, it's almost like you're getting like a nice bright citrus note.
you know what's crazy though? It's like a lemonade because it has that it's not as sharp as regular citrus and it has that sweetness attached to it. So it really tastes like lemonade to me. I don't know why.
I get what you're
Reminds me
saying.
of that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then
yeah,
the other thing
nice.
I got was almost like a barrel aged rum, which was awesome. That note
Yeah,
came through. I was
you getting
shocked.
any char? You getting the Fuente charred wood?
Uh-huh. Hello, it.
Well, if you could, you maybe
Mm-hmm.
describe it as barrel aged. You know what I'm saying? Because you get the barrel from the charred wood in the sense. So,
Yeah.
um, No, dude, it's a great cigar, man.
The more I smoke it, the more I like it, dude. This is actually this might be up there with regular Opus X. I think that Lost
Or
City
how
is
would you
not.
compare it to how you like Cubans? Because it has that
That's a good question.
the lighter side in a sense,
Well, I think if you say a light cigar, I don't think this is hitting on the same level as Cubans at all. Because Cubans, like you remember this Cuban I smoked with Sacco last time when we were smoking the Liga 9, and then I smoked the Cuban at the end, the El Rey del Mundo. I was getting like buttered biscuits right off the bat. You're getting a different level of delicious, rich, light flavors. I haven't had that level of delicious light flavors on a non-Cuban. So I don't I think it's a little bit of a different party. And what's interesting is for some reason the bowl reminded me more of a Cuban than this cigar. Like
Mm.
that felt like it competed more in that realm. This is kind of its own. Hmm. Um, but wow, dude, it's delicious, man. It's opening up. Oh wow, Sacco's has got 4 to 5 years of age on it.
On
This is
top
a
of that,
special
so
cigar. Thank you so much, Sacco. You really hooked me
now
up, man.
now I'd like to
Yeah,
know if you try that cigar like on a new release, how it would
yeah.
hit you.
Well, I prefer a cigar that's aged 4 to 5 years. That's like a sweet spot, I think. So
No, but I mean just as a
yeah,
reference.
right. Yeah, no, definitely, and I definitely would. It's definitely a cigar I would seek out and pick up. Same as the Opus X, I would seek it out and pick it up. I wouldn't seek out and pick up the Lost City, even though I think it's one of the most beautiful, complex cigars I've ever smoked. It didn't
I
hit me.
haven't smoked a Lost City in years.
Yeah.
I have to go back to it.
hmm
I mean years. In my
It
mind, I think years, and I could be
it
wrong
did
about that.
it
But I
didn't have that
think
spiritual level for me. Keep going. Sorry.
no, Lost City is one of those Opus X's that I've had, but it's
hmm
always been like spaced out, and I haven't smoked. I smoked the Opus X the most. I smoked the Angel Share up there, the
Yeah.
Oscuro a lot. Um, so many different sizes of the Opus X's. The Destinos had a lot of good time with.
Yeah.
Of course, we had the Dubais, which are insane. You haven't smoked a Dubai yet, right?
Haven't smoked in Dubai. The more I smoke this dude, the more it's blowing me away. Gio might have been right, man. That's a pretty darn good cigar.
What do you think
Um,
about the BBW Teletubbies?
I don't know. They look nice. Look nice.
I think,
Nice ladies.
yeah, honestly, it's at the maximum level where you're like, yeah, okay. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
You're like,
I wonder what their thought process was that they decided to dress up that way.
probably you want to pay the rent without having a real job.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, okay. I forgot that people do stuff like that. I thought it was just like
Well, no,
for
no, you don't have that Well, you do have that option, but
I thought it was maybe like cosplay, you know what I mean? They were like, "Oh yeah, we're big fans of the Teletubbies. We want to like get out and like show people." Now, one of them is missing, so I guess they didn't like that one.
yeah. Did you know that Ozempic uses reptile venom?
Mm,
That's what GLP-1 is. It's
I
absolutely a fact. I looked it up, and this guy's talking about it, and it's not like trying to expose it because it's you can look it up. And also, it's just more. People say, "Do you know you're drinking decaffeinated coffee?" And they're like, "Oh, I didn't know it was decaffeinated."
Now when you say reptile venom, do you mean like from snakes or lizard, or you mean like reptile people?
No,
Because there are a lot
I'm
of
sure
reptile people,
Pfizer
and
Pfizer's a bunch of reptilians. That's a whole nother topic
yeah,
out of Germany. But the thing is, no, it's out of
it's not just Germany. The whole subterranean layer of the disc that we sit on is all reptile.
well, yeah, there's tunnels everywhere.
Because they
Um,
don't like the sun because they're cold blooded.
yeah, they're like almost vampiric, and
Mm.
also they have to hide. What is this guy? This guy, bro, his music is so loud. But his music's so loud, it sounds like like a washing machine's broken and like all the water's turning and like holy shit.
I'm very interested in the difference between the Opus X, because remember the Bull I was comparing to the Opus X, and I think that's almost more of a direct competitor. This is like slightly different. I wish they made a lighter Bull, dude, that would compete with the Angel Share. That would be pretty cool. Can you imagine like a Lonsdale or
Yeah.
yeah, Lonsdale
Well,
would be
well,
pretty good.
well, they have the NFT, but
Yeah, but it's not a
that
lighter blend, I don't think.
No, no, it's $200 too. It's stupid.
Mm-mm.
Stupid.
Only reptilians can afford that.
Yeah.
Do I
So
do I look like I live in a subterranean lair? You know.
who would have thought the answer for people that don't want to go to the gym just inject yourself with reptile venom, and then you could go on OnlyFans.
That's why
It's
people used to sleep in caves, dude. Because they would hang out in the caves and they would wait for the reptilians to come up and they empirically bite them, and they'd lose weight.
yeah. Well, synthetic, dude, fucking synthetic reptile venom. You know, who would have fucking thought, man? You know, GI Joe tried to warn us. Remember Cobra?
No, not really, but for the sake of argument, I'm gonna say yes.
That was before your time. In other
Yeah,
news, a small car dealership in Long Island, but the address, of course, is in New York, not
right.
Long Island. The car dealership went on fire. Um, Either the guy owed somebody money in a
No,
gambling debt.
it says fire ravages car dealership on LI Police. I think that's a show. Long Island Police, the show.
No, it's all Long Island. No, if you
Okay.
read the
No,
story,
but Long Island's not a real place, Richie. If you really know about your like
correct.
the codes,
Yeah, no, because
there's no zip code for Long Island.
they'll say, oh, a fire ravaged a car dealership in Long Island. Yeah, sure. And then you read the story, it'll say Deer Park, New York. Oh, I think you said it's on Long Island. Yeah, on Long Island, Deer Park, New York. And then it'll say Suffolk Police and Deer Park Fire Department. Was it Long Island Fire Department? No, Deer Park. Was it Long Island Police? No, Suffolk County Police.
Mm.
So what part is Long Island? Well, we call it Long Island.
This cigar is so tremendous, dude.
Yeah.
That lemonade note is not going away. It's so strong, but it's so friendly.
It's not an aggressive cigar. It's a very nice cigar.
It's aggressively good, dude. Like it is the
Dude,
moment.
I
You know what I
smoked
mean?
3 of those in one night.
That's amazing. I see why you loved it so much back when you
Bro,
smoked all three.
I smoked the first one,
Yeah.
and then I had 2 at the same time. I
Mhm.
fucking had a 3-way with that shit. Dude, that was a
Mm.
banger. Believe it or not, bro, that was a lot of smoke. 2
This
cigars
is
at
so
once.
good, bro. I can see what you mean though. You don't even want to just smoke one. You kind of want to smoke 2 of these at the same time. Like it's not that it's lacking anything. You just want more. This is a very interesting cigar. I didn't know
Bro,
exactly what to
that
expect,
night,
but this isn't it.
bro, when I smoked 1 of those and then 2 back to back at the same time,
Yeah.
when I went to bed that
I'm gonna
night,
drop the ash. Nice construction.
yeah, it's ready, man. Dude, when I went to bed that night, as soon as I closed my eyes, like Carlito Fuente was like, just held me, and I just woke up. My alarm went off, bro. That's
That's
6
awesome.
hours, dude. If you smoked 3 of those in 2.5 hours, and then went to sleep for only 6 hours, as soon as that you woke up, bro, it was just like,
Cuddle with Carlito, dude. 3 angel shares and get to cuddle with Carlito. That's the motto.
oh my god.
This cigar is so good, dude. Holy shit.
Here we are in a bread
Speaking of
aisle, and a woman. This is on TikTok, and a woman is revealing her tits in a bread aisle,
Okay.
making some type of TikTok video. This is our society we live in. I mean, she's trying to make bread in a bread aisle.
This must be, this is why Sako must have told me he got sick of dealing with bread and he just started making it himself. He's a married man. I'm sure he was seeing stuff like this and he was like, enough, I'll do it myself. I can't blame him.
Bro, yeah,
and it's better
so
bread.
I'm so tired of seeing revealed breast in the bread aisle. It's the breast aisle now. I'm tired of it, man. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
Carbohydrates and harlots. I can't stand it.
Are you getting any? Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Are you getting
No, I'm
any?
listening.
Are you getting any Pennsylvania off that CT? Sako, do you know if that CDS CT has the Pennsylvania in it?
I think it might. I'll be honest. I wish I was wearing my jacket because it's a lot. This is jacket weather with the wind. It feels like 35. It's like a really terrible wind. And like it was like drizzling before. So like it's what it was last week was so nice. My mind's like, hey, we're in springtime. No more jackets, just a flannel. Maybe like a long sleeve shirt. And then you're like, the northeast spring, it comes in and it's like it goes back, comes back, goes back. You know, you know. And what are you gonna do?
Dude, I keep getting like I'm getting like a Smarties candy flavor off of it. It's like I don't know how to describe it. It's almost like it was infused, but it's clearly not infused. It's crazy. Oh, I see. Sacco put labels on the bands in the bag, so
Yeah.
that would tell you.
Well, I came here just to chill out, bro. I just came back from New York.
Yeah, how was that?
And then it was a great time. But I'm just saying, I just grabbed the stick, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
though, and then I went, I unpacked my bags, tied up my apartment. I took a fresh shower because that was a long ride, about the 3.5 hour ride. I showered this
Mhm.
morning. I was like, I gotta get fresh, and then I went to the gym, and here I am smoking a cigar. Why are you busting my fucking balls? I'm just
My
chilling
fault, man.
out. I'm just chilling out
My
with the
fault.
guys.
Well, I just when I smoked that cigar, I thought it was so interesting because it had so many flavors that I wasn't expecting. It had such a strong character. So that's all.
No, I've already posted the review of the Connecticut. I have to make
Okay.
the reviews of the other cigars. But say the only issue we have with those is
Yeah, they're
do I need
drawn.
to cut the length? You know what I'm saying though, to help, because that was the only issue. You know what I'm saying though. So I have to figure that out,
Yeah.
how to handle that.
Bro, I can't believe this cigar. I'm getting that light Fuente wood from it, dude. The tanginess, the like light fruit notes, but they're like light, tangy, like citrus type of fruit notes, not the deep
But it's got
ones on the Opus X.
it's got a lot of flavor, but it's refreshing.
Hmm.
It's by not making the flavor super heavy, it allows it to move. And also when you puff on it, it comes back. So
Yeah,
it's like the difference between like a heavy cologne and like a more summery cologne. Like more like
yeah,
you put on a cologne that's more a little more fruit based, or it's more refreshing. Then
yeah,
you have like real heavy like colognes that are like
yeah.
like almost like a musk. Like
Right.
yeah.
It's like a
You
light blue
understand?
bottle versus a black bottle, or
Yeah,
like dark
yeah.
brown bottle type of cologne.
Yeah, there are colognes that like when you're a single guy you put on, you're like, hey, I'm an interesting guy. Maybe you'd like to hang out. And then there's colognes you put on when you have a guaranteed date. You're like, we fucking hard tonight. Like fucking, you're putting on fucking like you're going like super strong. Like what was that movie? He had cologne that was made out of tiger piss of the Anchorman.
Oh
That was a
yeah,
fun movie.
yeah, yeah. I'm not that deep into colognes. I don't really know about that. Um, I'm
No, what I'm just trying to say is
yeah.
there is benefits. It's not if you have a cigar and you make a tweaked version of it and go lighter, it doesn't always mean that's worse. Sometimes I'm not saying better either way. I'm just saying it's just interesting to have a different perspective.
Well, what
I
I think
like
is okay. Sorry.
nobody really says they hate the Angel Share. Angel Share is a great cigar.
I think it's basically an unhateable cigar. Um, it's really present with flavor. It's really clean. It's like quite sweet, but it's not unbalanced. It's friendly. It's refreshing. It almost feels like it's excited to see you on every puff. That makes sense. It comes out and greets
In
you.
some ways, you wonder if you look at it. I'm not saying it is, but what if in
Hmm.
the mind, what if it's Fuente going, this is like the Opus X 2.0, where like if he had more time, like I don't know whether that came out 10 years later after Opus X or 15 years later. What if he's like, oh, if I had to make this cigar again, how would I make this?
This
Obviously,
is yeah.
he wants to make a different blend, but I'm just saying though, like, what if that was the original blend, and then later on the Opus X was the Angel, not the Angel, the Devil Share,
Right. I see what you mean, dude. I I can't believe I'm saying this. I think this might be the best Fuente I've smoked. I really like my favorite
You like
Fuentes.
it better than Opus X?
No, no, no. Hold on. My favorite Fuentes, my subjective list, my personal favorites will go Opus X first, then Casa Cuba, then probably either this cigar or the VSG. But in terms of how good a cigar is, no, actually, maybe VSG goes second. Anyway, you get the idea.
Yeah.
But in terms of an objective list, I think this cigar would be good to anybody. I mean, it's just so it's
You
so
mean you mean a list without your personal preference?
exactly. Like without my personal preference, I think this is a
I could highly. That's a godlike cigar. I can highly
yeah.
recommend the Angel Share, and I can recommend it in the 3-pack. Recommend it in the
Hmm.
box. If you can smoke that cigar and not get gouged, enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't think you could get sick of this, man. This is delicious. I'm
That's
I'm very impressed.
That is actually the only cigar that I've ever smoked 3 in the same day.
Yeah. Well, yeah, 1 and then 2, yeah. And what did it
3 of
get
them.
better? Did it get better? How was that experience? Did it get
It's just
better
the
as you
whole
smoked more?
experience got better and fucking better.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It'd be like having a great light scotch that you enjoy, like a Glenmorangie 10, and then you had 2 more of them. It just got better. You know
You
what
know
I'm
what
saying?
it
No?
is, bro? I can describe it like this. You know how when you're drinking a lager and it's refreshing and it's light and it's crisp and maybe a little sweet or not or whatever, but you enjoy it and you keep going back to it and you're like, this is good. Or like Pilsner Urquell, keep going back to it. Oh, that's good. That's good. Let me take another sip. Okay, cool. It's like that, but it has the level of flavor of like a good scotch. You see what I'm saying? But when you have a good scotch, usually you take it and you're like, okay,
It
I'm
does
good
what
for a
light
while.
beer wants to do. Light beer wants to say half the calories, the same flavor, and most
Mm-hmm.
of the time it has
Mm-hmm.
half the calories, but it doesn't have the same flavor, and it gives you like it's like a bitterness because it doesn't have the whole, you
Right.
know. Yeah, no, that is one of the few times
Yeah.
where you have a second version, like a part 2 to the,
Yeah.
because out of all the opuses, the Opus Angel Share, I would
They're
say
perfect. Uh-huh.
the closest to the regular Opus,
Yeah.
and I think if it was a movie, the part 2 is either as good or for some people better. For me, I look at it as very close. Like I still respect the OG the more because I have to go with regular Opus. At the
Mm-hmm.
same time, though, I love the Angel Share, man. Angel Share is a great time.
The only difference is with the Opus, it really took me somewhere else. Like if you drink a really, really good wine, it might take you somewhere, or a really, really, really special scotch, it might take you somewhere. If you drink like a really good scotch, it's incredible, right? It's like full palate activation. Same thing with a good wine, but not like a elite tier. You know what I'm talking about? So this to me is like it's like a lager beer in terms of the lightness and how it moves, but the flavor level is like elite scotch. That's how I feel. But or not elite scotch, but really high end scotch. But the Opus, it transports you like the very best of
No,
any.
The
You know what I
Opus
mean?
is the heavier cigar. I'm not
Right.
saying it's a super crazy strong cigar, but I would say though, because how much they age that tobacco, I don't think regular Opus is a weak cigar at all. In fact,
No.
if you're holding to smoke a lot on Opus, I think it's kind of deceptive. All I know is when I smoke regular Opus, that night when I go to sleep, I go right to just like boom, out of my body. Like, you know what I'm saying though? I think regular Opus is kind of not fucking around. It's just very smooth and he always says that we don't rush the hands of time,
Yeah.
and they don't really tell you all about the details of Opus. I don't think, as far as the actual tobacco,
Mm.
as far as the priming, and like how much Lajero they use in it, um, and etc. And also what prime. I don't know. I think you just know it's a Dominican Puro. How you don't really know the Opus cigars are kind of secretive. They're true Dominican stuff, right? At least that
Yeah.
am I wrong on that?
Yeah. I guess they don't tell you like it's 2 of these leaves, 3 of these leaves. Yeah. It's just Corojo and then everything's Dominican. Good luck.
Yeah, and then you gotta say what makes it so special. Well, I mean, all those things they
Mm.
do to it, whatever the fuck they do to it. On top of that, um, that did you smell the foot before you lit it?
A little bit, but not that much. But it's been sitting out of cellophane for a while, so it didn't have a
Yeah, but
lot
it's
of
still gonna
smell
have a
to it.
sweet smell, but it's gonna have a sweet
Hmm.
pungent smell to it. All the opuses, no matter which one, even the angel
Yeah,
share, have a beautiful foot. Next time you have the other one,
yeah.
go to the foot smell, just like hold it up, just smell that foot, man. It's got
Mm.
not when it's lit, obviously not.
Sure, sure, sure. No, of course. Um, I'm really impressed that so again, so I think the regular Opus gives you that transportational experience, which I think is really special, and only a few cigars can do that.
Yeah.
So that's still a classic among classics. But the way this is able to give you so much flavor, yet be so light, so inviting, so lively, uh, it
The
really is
Opus is
blowing
the
my mind.
helicopter. The Opus is the helicopter ride. The Angel Share is the hot air balloon.
Hmm.
You get more time to kind of like just see things slower, but maybe you know what I'm saying? No, because the cigar's not hitting you as hard or as spicy as the Opus.
Hmm.
Maybe I love them both. I think they both, In fact, I've never done Opus X Angel Share and then smoked an Opus X. That would be a fucking banger.
That'd be
Back to back.
great, dude.
Fucking back to
That's a
back.
great double show.
That would be fucking back to back. That would be fucking crazy.
Wait, hold on. What about Opus X and then Angel Share? I'm not sure. I'm just putting it out before I thought it through.
If you want to look at it as the perspective that all that strength left will actually pick up the cigar, you could see it that way. But then also you could say, what if it kind of overlaps it? I don't know.
Because it's like, what if you had it and it takes you there, it transports you, and then you're chilling with the Angel Share afterwards?
By the way, we can't deny the fact, once you smoke a cigar, if you smoke one right away, your body has to process that nicotine. So you know what I'm saying? You're at a higher elevated level of nicotine.
True.
Now, as far as flavor, how they combine, that's a totally another factor. But for example, it's like if you had scotch and then you stay in scotch, but you have a different scotch, you can't say the first scotch is not going to affect you, not just in flavor, but in alcohol in your bloodstream. Now, does that loosen up your perception? You like the second one even more, or doesn't it because you're already kind of now buzzed? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? That I don't know.
Wow. I'm almost getting a flavor like bubblegum, dude. I've never I feel like there's some flavors in this cigar that I've gotten from like other Opus, and then there are other Fuentes, but then a lot of the flavors in the cigar I've not gotten from any cigar, and I can see why Gio loves it for sure, and I can see why he would keep in stock however many he can get his hands on.
And I think the Angel Share is a little harder to get than the regular Opus. And I could be wrong on that, but I think it is. And I think I'm almost positive. I think the Angel Share is not made as much as by volume, I'm saying. So in a way, that gives it an alternative perspective. If it's harder to come by, it's more rare. If it's more rare, it's got to be better, right? So, it has that perspective,
I really like that idea that it's almost like the Opus 2. It feels like the Opus 2. It's like they did like the big blockbuster transportational cigar.
I think they took what Opus did well and they streamlined it and stripped it down. And it's still an Opus, but I'll say this: if you look at it this way, really, the Angel Share is like I'm not sure if it came out 10 years after Opus X, but let's just say it did, or whatever. It didn't come out 20 years after Opus X, but let's just say it came out 10 or 15. Let's just, for all intents and purposes, let's say the Angel Share came out 10 years later after the Opus X. In a way, I think the Angel Share is the best anniversary cigar dedicated to the original.
Yeah.
Because most of the time when you have a cigar that's great and you come out with a 10th anniversary edition, it's never as good as the original. Does that make any sense?
For sure.
The Angel Share is almost or as good, and some people like it more, but I'm saying, but to me, it's almost right there. So as a part 2 or a nod to the original, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, nod to the original to a cigar ever done. How do you think about that?
100%. I haven't smoked a lot of part 2 cigars.
They never did that with the Añejo. They never did that with the VSG. You never had.
Oh man!
And not even saying a 10th anniversary VSG. What if they made a VSG Angel Share? Saying we're like a little lighter version.
I would love that, dude. I would both of those. I don't even like the Añejo that much, but I would love to try that. The VSG, I would be all over that. Wow.
Yeah, now, in my opinion, man, there's a lot of room with VSG and Añejo because it's so loved, and they haven't done anything with those cigars in what? VSG, 20 years?
Yeah. VSG 20th anniversary would be so cool. Do it a little bit lighter. That'd be amazing.
But I don't want a 20th anniversary because I don't want like a one and done. Angel Share is always around.
No.
I want like a second. I want like a part 2. That's all I'm saying.
Sure. That's what I just mean.
I mean, like,
it's just an update version.
Released, a few times a year,
No, I'm saying regular production, but
yeah.
I know the VSG. I haven't smoked the Cabinet or the Pure Soul. I want to smoke those, but I haven't smoked them yet. Do you think either of those are related to the VSG because they have very similar bands?
No.
Okay.
No, the VSG is stronger. The one is the Habano, right? The
Pure Soul.
Yeah, no. I mean, honestly, if I'm smoking Ashton, the aged Maduro is great.
Yeah.
But it's probably going to be the VSG.
Yeah.
No, the ESG is great too. I like some guys like that better. To me, it doesn't justify the price point. I'm gonna go smoke Opus X,
Hmm.
because the ESG comes in higher.
Yeah.
So I never understood how the fuck ESG is coming in higher than Opus X.
I haven't smoked that yet. I thought I was gonna smoke it with Sacco, but he said he already smoked them, so
He told
he
you to go
wouldn't.
fuck yourself.
He wouldn't even take one from me.
Sack wants to
he's
know.
he's so generous,
I
but
mean,
also
Sacco
yeah,
wants to know
got
if
too many non-Cubans.
Sacco's saying is this a cigar channel? Apparently, it can be.
I think it's a reptilian review, dude.
Yeah.
That guy's probably a reptile. Anyway, there's something else I wanted to say about this, which was okay. Oh yeah, I want to ask your opinion on this. My rating system, it goes 6 is good, 7 is very good, 8 is great, 9 is amazing, 10 is ethereal. I have it the highest rating I've given to a non-Cuban. I think I would put, or what I would rate, I would put the Bull and the Opus X 8.25. Part of me wants to say this is like 8.5, even though it's not as transportational as the Opus X. It just, there's something about it that's so incredible that the way that it moves and the way that it is light. So, oh, by the way, Sako says did the CDS open up a little bit?
Yeah, I could read. Thank you, PG. Yeah, I would say towards after after like maybe 3 inches of cigar, I didn't have to stay on it as much.
Oh, nice.
So for the future of those, I might, if I cut off 2 inches off of it, I used to go right into where I could relax. If you notice,
Interesting.
I know by the draw. In the beginning, the draw because of how full the pack was. So that's something me and Sako we were discussing. So in the 2.0 Sako was going to be it's going to be easier to produce because you use less tobacco. But by like deep into the second third, it's operating perfect.
That's awesome.
Which, because remember, even if you have a real full pack, once you have less distance creates. For example, you know, if there's you get what I'm trying to say though, like
oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Because if you have a really full tight pack, and you have to go through 6 inches of it. When you only have to go through 4 inches of it, it's not going to be the same amount of resistance. Does that make any sense?
Yeah. No, I totally get you. I found that they actually got a little bit more plugged for me as I smoked them down. I smoked about 4 of those, but Sako gave me a bag of them. I could barely carry it. It's so large and heavy. So I'll give them another shot. I look forward to that. I'll try another one of the Connecticut, which I like the flavor on that a lot. So I'd be very excited.
No, it's very enjoyable.
Opened up by now.
It's very enjoyable.
Yeah, but I got them pretty fresh from Sako, right from the manufacturer. So they were all still wet and brand new. So I think now that they've had some time on them, maybe they're going to be smoking better. Richie, I hate to say it, this might be the best non-Cuban cigar I've smoked. Not necessarily my favorite. Maybe it's my favorite, but in terms of quality, it's unfucking believable, man. Sorry, excuse my language. Wow. So anyway, my question to you was:
do you really got to say that, bro? I mean, we're showing girls in the bread aisle with their tits out and girls with their fat choches.
You're showing it. I'm not showing it.
No, I'm not showing it. No, TikTok showed it. I'm reviewing it. For example, does ESPN play basketball?
Well, they're a sports broadcasting network.
No. Bullshit. They don't do anything. They sit at a fucking. Hold on.
Okay.
They sit at a fucking table and they watch the TV and go, "Look at what this guy did today." ESPN is the biggest bunch of cocks. They don't do anything. Somebody else does all the work, and after the game, they go, "Wow, look at that! Look at that!"
Yeah. Well,
look at
that would be commentary and that would be broadcasting, but that would still make you a internet degeneracy broadcasting and commentary network.
But I'm not promoting it like it's a good thing. I'm saying, why is this on TikTok?
Well, I think we've reviewed why it's on TikTok. TikTok's
because it's a Chinese psyop,
dude.
Yeah. It's a Chinese psyop to low. Because here's the thing: once they lower the morale. For example, if a lot of the girls think it's acceptable to show their chocha and show their tits in a bread aisle, what
Hmm.
kind of society is that going to be?
It's going to be one where you're not going to believe what you're going to see in the cheese aisle, dude.
Oh, fuck.
You don't even
Oof.
want to know what's going. When you're getting into fine cheeses, you're shopping for your Morbiers, your Gouda,
Yeah, because here's the thing
Camembert,
too.
a good French Camembert. You're not going to believe
Degenerate
what you're going to see.
behavior, I guarantee you, girls that are showing their tits in the bread aisle are going to be single
Mhm.
mothers. Or if they do get married, they're going to divorce because they're going to be hoes. And see, divorced and single mothers is better for the economy, but not for the people, because you don't get an inheritance. But you're
I
going to
don't.
be like,
No, I don't. I don't agree with that. That's better for the economy
no, it's
because you
better for.
need.
Okay, let me explain to you why it's better for the economy. Those
Okay.
people are running up their credit cards. It's not good for the actual individual, though. You understand what I'm saying, though?
What's good for the economy is individuals who create outsized value that other people can't create
Well, let me
anywhere
explain
else
to
on
you,
the globe.
bro. Women showing their tits and chocha on TikTok are ordering Uber Eats at 3 a.m. Taco Bell. They're not making good financial decisions. That's what I'm trying to say.
I, I think. I
People
think.
with traditional values are going to cook and eat at home. But you see what I'm saying, though? That's what I'm saying.
I think. I think bad financial decisions. I think are ultimately bad for the economy because ultimately you want to be driving value to things that create real value and real quality of life. Therefore, creating a system where the people who are rewarded are the ones that are generating
I understand
again
what you're
outsized
saying,
value and quality of life.
but I'm saying this, bro. People in their house, they have faucets and you can get a water filter, and you could get a big metal bottle when you leave your house for the day and bring your own water. But what do people do? They stop at 7-Eleven, they buy a bottle of water for $3, $4 every fucking day. So stupidity helps the economy. A smart person would prepare and go, I'll bring my food and drink to work. Does that make any sense?
But you're creating demand on something that you shouldn't have demand on. I mean, I'm not an economist. I can't say this for certain, but again, I still think that you want to put it like this. If let's say every we live in a town, you and me live in a town, okay? There's 20 restaurants in the town and they all serve absolute garbage, dude. We go there, it makes us sick every single time because it's just trash. They're
Yeah,
picking up food off the floor, it's all
yeah,
expired, whatever.
yeah.
One new
It's
restaurant,
Staphylococcus.
right? One new restaurant opens and they're serving incredible fresh food at a decent price. Everybody should only go there and generate demand for that thing that is helpful. You see what I mean?
I get what you're saying with that as far as a restaurant, but when it comes to like fast food and convenience stores, all those things, I get it in a pinch if you're on the road. But if 9 out of 10 times you're gonna drink something, and you could have brought it from home, or at least bought it at a store, and then
Yes.
have your drinks from home, or make your coffee at home on a daily basis, how much money are people pissing away on Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and 7-Eleven? And
So
at the end of the month, they blew $500, $600, $700 on bullshit where you could have had better stuff at home and bring it with you. That's all I'm saying.
right, but what I'm saying is you don't want to reward that. That's bad for everybody. When you reward somebody for let's say you create a product like TikTok that takes advantage of people and creates a negative impact on quality of life. If you reward that, then you create a loop where that is done more and you diminish the quality of life and the things that are propping up the economy. You would rather the economy be
I
propped
think
up
all the
by
apps are there
good
for
produce.
degenerate behavior. Look at online dating or ordering food. Oh, let's order pizza. You got a kitchen, cook some food in your house. I don't want to do that. So you're gonna spend $40 on Domino's tonight.
Well, so that's but well, online dating could be good
No,
theoretically.
online dating has ruined society
No,
because
no, no, no.
100% of the women want the top 10% of men. That's the way it works. Even
Then
the fattest,
let them
stinkiest chalupa, she wants fucking Donald Trump billionaire.
let them get the top 10%, and then when the top 10% is gone,
Those
let them
top
pick.
10% of
Let
guys are just, you know what they're doing? Catch and release. They get him, there you go. Catch and
but
release.
but the thing about the thing about what you're saying is that's an
Bro,
unhealthy
before
habit.
this online dating and it was Instagram, dude, there's so many women coming out admitting to they're getting flown to Dubai for rich Arabs that like to shit on them. They like to shit on women. This is a real thing. And they'll pay them 50 grand to come out for a weekend, and some Arab prince will take a shit on the girl, and she'll get her 50 G's and a nice little trip. This wasn't possible before the Instagram and TikToks and shit. Because how would they know little Lucy from Pennsylvania will let an Arab, oil baron take a dump on her face for 50 G's?
Would you
How
do
would
that
you
for
do
50 G's? How would you do that for 50 G's?
50 G's is too low. Too much stuff
hmm
for Kakalakalis. And
hmm
you'd have to include saran wrap and antibiotics. That shit can't be right.
Saran wrap, I don't think they're giving you 50 G's, bro. Anyway, I think the idea of online dating is good because if you can find some sort of way to create specificity and then you have good match between people, you find a person that has your same interests or
Mhm.
has a similar background to you or whatever, or thinks the way you do. That's a value add. Um, but if you use it the way that you're talking about, I mean, that's totally unhealthy. It doesn't make any sense. The same thing with ordering food. If you order food as an function or with the goal of saying, uh, I work really hard at my specified niche. I don't want to use my time when I could be better at providing value for people in a certain way. Somebody else is able to amortize their cost by creating a large amount of food and then giving me some food. That creates value by your 1 hour that you spent cooking food might it's not as valuable as if you had spent that 1 hour, let's say, studying a significant problem that could help people. So in that
I
case,
get what you're
it's
saying.
useful.
If someone's being so productive where they say, listen, I'll have somebody else provide this for me because my time's so valuable. Most people's
Right.
time is not that valuable, brother. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying, though? So, I mean, I get what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is, though, if you're spending 20, 30, 40, $50 a day on bullshit, and at the end of the month, you know what I'm saying, though? If you did the math, how much people piss away on.
But this is what I mean. Every choice, and I'm not saying what you're pointing out isn't. Actually, I agree to some extent with what you're saying, which is every bad choice that's made
The bad
it
choices are
moves
helping
us
the
overall.
economy, not the individual. That's all I'm saying.
But I'm
That's
saying
what I'm trying to
the
say.
economy should reinforce good choices. So, like put it like this: with a restaurant, if we kept going to that one restaurant, everybody's going to that restaurant. They could even lower their prices. If everybody only goes to that one restaurant and they only serve two things, they know they can buy the full amount of those two things fresh and sell it almost at cost and still make a lot of money because they know the line is out the door.
Yeah.
And that way everybody is benefiting from that situation. So everybody has to make good choices or everybody gets punished.
My point was trying to talk about with the woman of the
Uh-huh.
TikTok was that, bro, I grew up in a different time, man, where people thought about not just now, but they thought about what is Jimmy talking about? Who's this guy, Jimmy?
I
Jamie?
don't know, dude. I don't know why he's still hanging out. Nobody domed him. I'll be right back. Give me a second.
He said monopolies drop prices. I don't know, Jamie. Oh, this guy's a funny guy. Who's talking about monopolies? I don't even know. Self-cleansing.
No, look, yeah. Look, man, I don't want to get too deep into it, but he's absolutely right. Like monopoly is not good either, but if that one restaurant is doing well, other restaurants will open up that are emulating that, and the restaurants that are doing bad will go out of business. The idea of healthy capitalism, I think, is again, not an economist, but is rewarding
Well, your concept is
the
if a
good
better
business.
place comes, it will create a better competition. Um, well, yeah, I don't even know what we're
No, no,
talking about anymore.
listen.
Hold on, hold on.
Monopolies
Jimmy's coming back. Jimmy says,
let wait,
"Hey, that
Yeah,
hold on.
go
I
ahead.
gotta reflect it, PG.
Go ahead. Go
You're
ahead.
getting
Go ahead. Go
flack.
ahead.
He's saying if everyone just goes to this one restaurant, bit, bro, you got some stealth haters, guys.
I
For the
got
record,
super haters, man.
well, that means, dude, you made it, man. You got haters, bro.
Cheers, man. Cheers, Jamie.
Yeah,
Look,
hold on, Jimmy. You're not allowed at fucking PG's restaurant. You're fucking banned. Fucking banned. You know what?
listen. No, he makes a good point though. A monopoly will destroy healthy competition, and when you get to that point, that's why the government is important, because the point of the government, one of the rules of the government, is to enforce good faith practices. So, if it went to a point where people like can't go to the other restaurants, that's bad. But if one restaurant is offering something that's so superior that other people start to do that as well, and the
Well, most
restaurants
of
that
these
were offering less
restaurants are all
quality go out
bought
of
by
business.
conglomerates. So, dude, whether it's fast food or big restaurants, most of these big, restaurants. I'm not talking about high end restaurants, but even, for example, you go to places and it's like, where they're busy and one of those fucking cheesecake factories or even one of those pasta places, whatever bullshit.
That's all crap, dude. That's not
Yeah,
even
I
real
know what I'm
food,
saying is
man.
they're all owned by a conglomerate. Like
Bro,
there'll be
go.
like 50 companies, 50 different restaurants, they're all bought up by one interest firm. You know what I'm saying though?
You know what it is, man. You're Italian. You know what good food is. You've been to Europe. Like they'll have little places that are making you taste the quality of the food. You taste the quality of the ingredients.
Yeah.
That's what we should reward. We shouldn't reward anybody like, crap Nestle products that are now Nestle, I think is I'm not sure if it's a monopoly, but it's like on that
Oh
level.
no! First off, Nestle's dude. Nestle like bought all the water rights in so
Hmm.
many places. If Nestle could, they would
Horrible.
turn off your faucets and you could only
Right.
buy the Nestle water.
Right. Exactly. So getting to that, and that's why you need the government, and you need to fight strong against monopolies. Without
Yeah,
without
but when you say
government,
the government, all these politicians, left or right, have been bought out by special interests. So it just doesn't matter. There's no more government anymore for the people. Let me
listen,
tell you something.
yeah,
The people are fucked. The people are fucked.
right, exactly.
Yeah,
So I don't even particularly
I
disagree with
understand
Jamie.
the
Yeah,
the responsibility of the government to protect the people, but it's not what's happening anymore. On the surface, I get what you're saying. That's not what's happening though.
no, no,
You
no.
know,
I'm not saying what is happening. I'm saying what
like
should
look
happen.
at Amazon, dude. Amazon, dude. Pretty much everything's gonna be. Dude, all the malls are going out of business. But then you gotta say, well, the people did it too. But then also you gotta say, well, during COVID, the government told everyone stay inside. So you could, but Amazon's here. You could order Prime, and you can have your paper towels and your bleach and your chicken, everything delivered through Amazon. So you get what I'm saying though. So like in a way, Amazon I think is duly complicit with the government and their policies, and now everything's fucking Amazon. And is that a better world?
Yeah, no,
I don't think so.
dude. Sacco asked if he smokes cigars. Sacco, what is this? A cigar channel, bro? No, but it's a good question. Jamie, what do you smoke, man? Anyway, let's move on from it. But my, I just want to say, I'm not saying what is happening. I'm just saying what should happen and what a healthy, if everybody takes accountability, which nobody ever will. Joints. All right, man. Yeah. Um, um, then you can get to a place. If you have a situation where people are educated enough um, to make good decisions and they reward the correct businesses, and then the government is acts in good faith and oversees the situation, then you can have a capitalist democratic society that functions. And the fundamental cornerstone of that is education, and education for everybody and for the population. People have to be well educated.
I
So
like
without
your
those things,
concept, but that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is propaganda, and what's going to happen is you're going to have the government decide who's essential and not essential. And all the
no,
small businesses
yeah,
during COVID were shut down because they weren't essential, and
look,
all the big companies like Walmart and Amazon were essential. So that's the scary thing when you can have the government tell people who is essential and who's not essential. Imagine you own a small business and they tell you you're not essential.
I know for certain that in California, at least, or in Los Angeles, because I actually uh, dealt with some of these people to some extent. Um, they worked hard to try to uh, extend loans and grants to citizens and small businesses, and there are certain things that backfired. Some people took advantage of it. Some people who should have had access to it didn't know that it existed, and that was an issue of being able to get the message out. So there's a lot of ways to look at it. But let me just say that if you have a really well-educated populace that's taught logic from a young age, propaganda won't work on them in the same way, right? Propaganda plays on the idea that somebody can't dissect an argument. And if you can dissect an argument, you're not going to be victim to a facetious argument or a facetious line of thinking. And you will also be able to do enough research and have enough background in the information that you'll be able to find what the truth is, because you have to be able to disprove the premises as well, meaning a facetious argument may be founded on, it may be a valid argument, or I forget what it is, sound or valid, but the point is the argument can work through unimpeded and be correct, right? An argument can make total sense, but the problem is the fundamental point, the first premise that you have to believe and understand to believe this argument is that reptile people exist. They don't exist, and
Well,
if you
on
do
the
some
basis
research,
too of what you're saying, truth or giving people logic, everything has an angle. So anyone trying to educate these people, you got to say, why are they trying to teach someone this, and what's the angle? Also, is there any knowledge to refutate these people, or saying they're not right, or they're not 100% right? So you get what I'm trying to say, though.
I
So it's like,
right, I
you know,
agree with you, but
you know,
you have to fund education well enough that it's worthwhile for people to spend time in it and try to do better, because people will try to excel, and if you let somebody excel and create better, yeah, he got deported, bro. Ice showed up for Jamie.
he's in El Salvador.
Dome still works, dude. Yeah, well funded. The dome is well funded, bro.
I don't know, man. Look, change the topic,
Yeah,
it's nice getting the deep thought. Um, Overall cigar, you're happy with it. You're It's not that you're personally blown away, but you really enjoyed it, and you think on the bigger picture, everyone should smoke this.
I tell you. Oh no, there was glue on the wrapper. Hold on.
Dude, that
Um,
cold wind, my ear is fucking frozen.
damn.
Holy I should have worn my heavy jacket, man. I sound like a bitch here, but like, ah,
Um, I am personally blown away. I'll say that it's not my absolute profile. That's the only thing I can say about it. One thing. For instance, I really, really like the Casa Cuba. I like the type of flavor it presents. I like the kind of vibe it presents.
that's a more
The
traditional cigar. That's an old school kind of Cuban blend.
the way that that cigar tastes to me is something that I want to have around personally. But if I just gave it to somebody, anybody, they might like it, they might not like it. You know what I mean? It's not as good as the
But would you
cigar,
agree
but
that
it's
the
more my
Angel
preference.
Share is a higher, not just the price point, but on the surface, the Angel
Exactly.
Share is a higher tier cigar.
That's what I'm saying. So I think in
I
terms of
would love to see a Casa Cuba on the Opus level, meaning they gave it more age. You know what I'm saying? Though, like that would be, and not that I want to buy a more expensive one for just the sake, but if they just
yeah,
made a higher end Casa Cuba, like a Casa X, that would
dude,
be fucking sweet.
bro, if I could get an Angel Share Casa Cuba that's a little bit of a lighter blend, it's got, you know what I mean? It's a little bit more selected, a little more time, a little more fermented, whatever.
Yeah,
And it was competing with the Angel Share, but in that flavor profile,
yeah,
I'd be so happy. So my
yeah.
point is,
I would also
even
like
yeah,
the Magnum R, like the
mm-hmm,
Rosados they make. You know what I'm saying? The Magnum
mm-hmm.
44. If they made a little higher end version, where like you said, maybe just like what was that company they work with that makes the boxes?
Oh, Prometheus?
Yeah, if they made a Prometheus Casa Cuba or Prometheus
Yeah.
Magnum R, where they
Mm-hmm.
took the cigar and they simply aged it 3 more years in in the cedar rooms, in the aging rooms to get and then just got a real fucking ripe and ready, not just sitting at someone's house. You get what I'm saying though.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, I
No, I
think that
know
would be a
pre-roll.
that would be a banger.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree more. So yeah. So what I'm saying is, even though those cigars are really in my wheelhouse, right? And those are personal to me, it doesn't mean that it's a great cigar for everybody or it's as high of a level. In terms of a cigar
Yeah.
that is, yeah, Sakos has changed the background pic, dude. New Doobie Dobby, bro.
What does he want from me? What do you, what do you, what do you want? What do you want? This? There you go. You want that?
Oh my God. Anyway,
Dude, this is on TikTok, man.
well, that's also in history books. I mean, that is like a let's choke you. All right, man. Only Sacco is Sacco.
What does he want?
Sacco, is this good for you? How about now? So what I mean to say, let me slow down
Because
and say,
you want 22-year-old Richie?
That's pretty cool. Solid, dude. Nice.
Fucking 22-year-old Richie, man. 20 years ago.
Fucking, I bet that dude could probably punch a hole in a metal wall, right? Let's see.
Fuck.
So what I'm saying is, in terms of a cigar that is easy to love,
Yeah.
and he says it's okay, dude. That's okay.
It's not Chocha. It's not Chocha though.
All
Fuck.
right, flex. In terms of a cigar that's easy to love and high level, but also I'm having a subjective, very good experience. I really, really am enjoying the cigar. I really like this cigar. Again, it's not perfectly in my wheelhouse where it feels like they made it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in terms of just being impressed by what it is, I'm really blown away, man.
Especially since it's your first one.
Well, what's kind of messing me up is I almost want to say this is like an 8.5, which would be higher than I thought I would ever give a non-Cuban. It's kind of surprising me on how good it is and what it is, and it's messing me up.
How many sizes does that cigar come in? Is there a larger size for that, like a Corona Gorda?
I'm not sure. Well, this is like the one I'm smoking is like a 6 and change by 48, which is a pretty nice size. I mean, that's a good size.
Oh, I didn't know you were smoking a lot. I've only smoked the Robusto, like 5.
Yeah, no, this is it's a nice size. But
it's Sacco. I put the Chocha back. It's not the Chocha you want, but it's BBW Chocha. Here's what it is.
It's the Chocha you deserve. That's nice enough. Okay. What's surprising me is, even though I prefer the Opus X, like for me, the regular, because it's transportational and it's dark and heavy and it's tropical, and that really speaks to me. This one is almost so much just like, it just feels much more light on its feet and live. I think it might be the better cigar, and that's messing me up because that's what I want.
You're saying because it's more usable, it's more practical.
Yeah, and like, who wouldn't love this cigar? Every single person would love this cigar. I think if they smoke a cigar, I feel like more people could get behind this than the Opus X. I don't know. Yeah,
I think I like the Angel Share. I'd like for a walk in, like at lunchtime, like in the park or something. And the Opus X, I'd like to have at nighttime after dinner. You know.
I also really like the Bull, right? And I really like LFD, so that's really in my flavor wheelhouse. So I think I would buy a few Angel Share, right?
Okay, would this be a good vacation day? Fucking, you have a fucking beautiful breakfast. You're at a resort, and you fucking smoke the Angel Share. You go out to the beach, whatever you're gonna do, whether you're gonna play tennis or the fuck.
Yeah.
And you have a nice lunch. You by the pool, by the beach, and you smoke the Bull. You go out, you go do what you gotta do. You bang the missus. You go to a show. You go out for a steak fucking dinner, throw some fucking crap table, fucking play some cards, and then you go back to a fire pit at night and you smoke Opus X. I think that those 3 cigars in that kind of a day would be a banger.
Wait, you said Angel Share was the first one?
Angel Share after breakfast.
Yeah.
Going for a walk on the beach.
Right.
Later on after lunch, you have a fucking a Bull.
Oh yeah,
and then at nighttime, late night after dinner and gambling, you fucking have an Opus X by a campfire, by a fire outside, fire pit.
Well, if you win at gambling, yeah. Otherwise, I don't know. But if you run bad, that Opus X might be kind of sad. But yeah, I mean, that'd be amazing. That's an amazing trio. I agree with you. So
I think that night you would go to sleep and fucking like just blow out your chocha. You would go to sleep and fucking like go to another world. And the thing is, it'd be all Dominican. It would be all Dominican tobacco. So like you would just be like,
yeah, dude, your palate would be blown. For me, if I was actually on vacation, I probably want to, you know what I mean? Wake up, hit the gym, get in the water type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Smoke one
3 I
cigar
think is a
max.
lot, but
Realistically, I'm not smoking 3 cigars, but if
I'm
I
just
was
saying
hanging,
if you had
you
to do a Dominican Puro Day, that
know,
would be the order.
I agree with you. Yeah, that'd be fine. Um, or you know what you could do? I'd almost wake up, do the Opus X right out the gate, dude. Go crazy, transcend,
Oh
bro.
shit! All right, all right.
And then I probably go bull, midday, and then I do Angel Share at night, just really chill,
Yeah, you
really
got like
smooth.
4 hours in between each cigar and a meal,
hmm
and probably chocha. You know, um,
Yeah, she's like, oh, Richie, you taste like bull, you taste like Angel Share, you taste like Opus X.
y-
Wow,
yeah.
that's like waffles, like pancakes with syrup and waffles.
I always prefer the cigar after chocha, not before. I would what I say is I wouldn't want to smoke a cigar and then go straight into chocha. I'd rather the chocha than the cigar.
Yeah, that sounds really, really kind of rank, dude. That's kind of gross.
Yeah.
Um,
Because you don't want to be smoking that cigar like rushing it to get to the chocha. You know what I'm saying though?
yeah, but you also don't want to like be kissing a girl and taste cigar. It's gonna be. I mean, I don't know, man.
I don't know,
Anyway,
man. I mean,
but
yeah. Also, like
yeah,
if you're down there on a muff, do you want to be thinking about your Opus X? Does that make you 451? If you're thinking about a cigar while you're getting chocha.
she's like, are you thinking about your ex? And you're like, yeah. And she's like, what the fuck do you mean? Oh yeah, Opus X. Oh okay. Um,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I think if you're holding the cigar while you're getting chocha, that would be too much. Is that like dry boxing? Is that?
yeah, wet boxing. All right, man. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, bro, I gotta make. It's a cigar channel. I gotta make something funny. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah.
No.
Well, you got to make something about cigars on the cigar channel, I think. Anyway, um,
I guess so.
yeah. Got into your head.
I guess so.
Um, anyway, so here's my thing.
Yeah.
I feel like on my scale, which would be between like the qualitative rating, which I think you can understand is this is between uh I guess great and amazing, right?
Mm.
Where an amazing cigar to me is like there's very few of them. That's like Bolivar, dude. Cuban Bolivar. It's like amazing, bro. Like really blow your mind.
But that's what
Um,
you. That's what you really. That's for your preference. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Though. See, for me, when I review a cigar, my preference, I don't. That has nothing to do with the rating. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
no,
Though.
no. I get well. Uh, I kind of get what you're saying, but still, I'm trying to go. I'm trying to go objective with this. I'm not trying to just say like what I want or what I
No,
care
I get
about.
what you're saying too, though. But you also say that's the cigars that you had that you've considered in that category.
Right, but
Um,
have you smoked a Bolivar Royal Corona with some age on it?
I've smoked a lot of Bolivars.
Okay.
I've had great times, but this is long time ago. But when I say a long time ago, over 15 years ago, um, or back then, I think we were getting Bolivars for $15, and
hmm
$15 was expensive for a cigar. Like back then, or going back to like 2011, 12, like 13, like when we had the Cuban connection through Johnny Stash.
Yeah.
With his friend that owned this big business, and he collected Cuban cigars, and you'd be able to go in the guy's office and you just he wasn't even making profit. You pay for what he paid for him, and we were getting Monty number twos for I think um, he gave them to you two for 25, which basically about $13 a stick, almost 15 years ago. That might not seem like a lot. That was high end.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Though, like because 13, dude, I'm telling you, cigars were a lot cheaper back then, and Cubans were cheaper back then. You know, you go almost 15 years ago, like so things were cheaper.
Yeah. So my point to you is like this. Like to me, a stronger, darker Cuban. If you're coming from a non-Cuban perspective, you're getting more richness, you're getting more flavor than like a Epicure number two, Hoyo Epicure number two. Is a phenomenal cigar, but to me, I wouldn't rate it as high because I don't think it has the level of depth and complexity that I'm getting out of it. I got out of Boulevard Royal Corona. That's my opinion, but that's my objective and subjective opinion. Putting that
Mm.
aside, what I'm trying to say is me edging this from 8.25, where Opus X and Bull are at, to 8.5 for me is a huge increment as we're getting away from 8. That's a really big deal. But
Yeah.
I'm saying giving the edge to the Angel Share, even though it's not transportational like the Opus X, but because of the way it's so light on its feet and refined,
I
not
think
rough.
the Angel
Yeah.
Share is easier to love
Hmm.
than the Opus. Although the Opus X has more power and does more
Right.
on the surface, the Angel Share is easier to love, and that's something to be said. Where it's more practical, it's lighter on its feet. Um, you know, I love them both. If I had to edge out one, though, for me it would still be Opus X because it's the
Okay.
OG. But
Well, yeah. So I
I
guess.
love what
Mhm.
I love what the Angel Share does, and I love for a second version, basically a 2.0.
Mhm.
It's basically what it is. It was a
But
really great nod to Opus X, where it didn't go so far away from Opus X, like it didn't like forget what Opus X was, but it you know what I'm saying though, it was a leaner, lighter version that still could hold its own.
considering, so I think the pros of Opus X are it's deep, it's rich, it's the full experience, it's the
Yeah,
moment,
the Opus
and
X, you're gonna get
mhm.
more of the charred wood, more cedar. You're gonna get more black pepper, more sweetness, but it's more heavier, more syrupy sweetness. It's much heavier,
Right.
longer finish.
Right.
The Not that's the problem, but the difference is on the Angel Share, it's when you puff on it, you're gonna come back to it in like
Right.
if you get the Opus X doesn't let you forget what it's doing. The Angel
Right.
Share, because it's lighter, every puff you're like, oh my god, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Though, like,
Right. Like I said, the Opus X almost smokes
what's up,
more like
GT?
a deep wine, like a powerful wine,
Yeah,
whereas the Angel Share drinks like it's almost like drinking a lager, which is crazy considering how much flavor they're able to get out of it. So I guess what I'm saying is, if you take that full rich experience and you pit it against having something that's so balanced, so refined. When I say refined, I mean refined from they took down the power just a little bit to give you so much more. You know what I mean? Like they take 10% off the power, but they give you a lot more lightness, a lot more sweetness, a lot more, whatever.
it lets the flavor move in a different way. It really does.
Exactly.
Um, so listen, I love them both, and to me they're
Right.
both godlike. And
Yeah,
it
I
depends
agree.
on what I won't be sad with either. It depends on what you're looking
I
to
agree.
do. Um, so I'm glad they both exist and they're both available. I just wouldn't pay gouge for either.
Of course.
Um, but we'll see what
But
they
what
have next time I go up the mountain. We'll see what they have at the big store because they normally have Opus X there. I'm not sure what they had last time. I forget which Opus they had. Oh, they
so
had the new Opus, the crazy one for
oh yeah, the society.
$90.
Mm,
Oh, yeah, I'm not fucking doing that
mm-mm,
shit.
mm-mm.
That's
No way.
fucking crazy. That's fucking
Um,
crazy.
but so my question is philosophically, and this is tough, and I'm going to sit on this, and I could be wrong right now. Like the answer might be that the Opus X regular one is better, and I can't tell. But for some
Well,
reason,
when I
I
say
feel.
better than
Mhm.
two, the Opus X is the OG. It's the creator of. It's what started off high end Fuente. You know what I'm saying, though?
I understand. Well, you could say the VSG started out high in Fuente, but let me put that aside. What I'm trying to say is,
Well, was the VSG came
mhm.
out in 1992?
VSG came out way back, dude. I
But
think.
I don't think there's four Opus X, and I could be wrong on that.
I think so. Yeah. VSG is like the OG, man. That's like the OG cigar. I
But to
think,
be older, what it didn't come out. It was even Ashton a company in the 80s.
dude. The VSG was like their second or third cigar. I think the Ashtons.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying though. So I'm not denying VSG's not an old blend, but
Yeah.
um,
Can we get a history check?
yeah, I don't know that, but
We need a history check. Look,
yeah,
putting that aside. Putting that aside. You say it all the
yeah,
time. Don't just smoke whatever the newest cigar is, right? Because
yeah,
a lot of the best blends have already happened, right? You say that all the time. You say that, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what I'm saying is, once a cigar is released, it has to compete with all the cigars from the past or the future. So if they release a new Opus X that's exactly like the Opus X, but 10% better, that's a better cigar than the Opus X, even though it's not the OG. Because you got to say, if you go into a shop, it is what it is. It's not about history. It's about what's the best cigar at that moment. What's the newest or the oldest. You see what I'm saying? It goes both ways.
But let's say if you're saying it's better, why still make the old one then?
Well, because it's different. It's different, and they're both incredible. But But they're slightly different. I mean,
But
I
the
would
only way
smoke.
to say it's
Mhm.
better if they still make the old one too, though. Right? So I mean, like it's that's where I edge it more to the Opus that
Well,
the history is to
but
me
then,
there's important.
yeah,
Okay, for example, like I said, the Opus X made the Angel Share. The Angel Share didn't make the Opus X. That's all I'm saying,
but
and
that
they
doesn't.
can't deny that.
You could still have it. You could still have it improved a lot. Like I know it doesn't happen in movies a lot. Like usually
And
movies,
Uncle
the
Larry
second.
gave you a blend check. It came out in the winter of '99,
Okay, and when did Opus come out? Thank you, Uncle
'92,
Larry. By the way, 92. Really?
92.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um, but if just because, like, okay,
maybe
sorry,
'95, but it's older. Yeah.
with a movie, often the second's not as good. But with games or sometimes TV shows, they'll have a bigger budget and they'll have proven their formula and they'll get to expand on what they're doing and it's better.
Yeah, I'll
But
say this: I don't think the Angel Share is worse because the worst sounds like a negative word. It's not. Angel Share is not a piece of shit at all. It's not like no. The
no,
Angel Share,
they're
if
both top
anything, for a
tier.
cigar with less power to still be amazing like that, it speaks a lot of volumes. You know what I'm saying? Though.
Absolutely. And I'm not saying anything bad about either. Obviously, I really like both of them.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
really blown away. I'm really impressed.
But I get what
But my
you're saying. What with with at that point when they come out with the Angel Share, is maybe a decade or more after that, they have
yeah,
even more money, more research, more tobacco.
exactly.
So it has to be better because they've only perfected their art.
No, it doesn't have to be better, but
So are
also at
you
the same
saying
time,
that the
uh-huh.
original OG is held back because they can't change it? And
No, no,
in
no,
a
no.
way, I respect what they did
Uh-huh.
by making different versions because
Yeah.
they weren't going to stop making the Opus X and go, we've upgraded the blend. The OG has to stand because
Sure.
cigars, these brands like Fuente, you know, Padron, David, well, they was a little different. They stand on their past and their heritage, you know.
So what I'm saying is the Lost City still exists, right? They still make it. But
Yeah.
it's not as good as the Opus X or
The
the
Lost
Angel
City's
Share.
the least respected Opus X.
But
It
but
really
but they
is.
but they still make it. But it's still a good cigar. And yes, Uncle Larry, I agree with you. It's a top 10 for me of all time as well. Um, but what I'm saying is just forget, let's say
Yeah.
every blend just has a number on it, dude. And the number is random. It's like 57829. Okay? Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And all of them came out the same day. So we're not talking about history. We're just talking about what the flavor is from the blend. My question philosophically is the Opus X better because it's deeper, richer, and more transportational? Or is the Angel Share better because it's giving you so much of the flavor, but it's also giving you new lighter notes and it's more delicious, but it's not as transportational or deep. Do you see what I'm saying? And
I,
that's what I can't figure out.
I in the concept of is the Opus X, I mean the Angel Share, giving you a similar great experience or with less nicotine in a sense, or so in a way it's doing more with less. Is that even better? It's almost more streamlined, kind of like how
Right.
guns went from stainless steel to aluminum, and you're gonna go, well, aluminum's still steel. It's lighter, easy to carry all day, doesn't rust. So
Yeah.
yeah, I get that. So stainless steel is the OG, still around, but it's heavier, more expensive to make, and there's advancements in technologies. At the same time, I get that concept, but it's different with cigars because these things were actually to use a cigar, you destroy a cigar.
Well,
But
yeah.
um,
Let me put it a different way for you. For me, again, the Opus X is like a great, elite scotch or an elite wine, and it's really deep and rich. But the Angel Share is like that lager. I'm sorry for repeating myself. It's like that lager, but you're getting a really good scotch flavor profile.
no, I agree
I,
with you. It's more practical. It's more reusable. I've never smoked 3 Opus X's in one day.
mhm.
The Angel Share, with the
But
benefit of the Angel
uh
Share, like going back to my caliber thing,
mhm.
you could shoot 38 all day at the range, and the next day your wrist is not going to hurt, and it's cheap. Well, in that case, it's cheaper and more available. But that's not the case with a cigar. But I'm just saying it's more practical at 38. However, though, with a larger animal, you'd want the Magnum. You know what I'm saying? Though, or going through autoglass.
Sure.
But so if you want a heavy experience, the Opus X is
Right.
gonna be
Right.
the better version.
100%. So it's a little bit
But if you're
the
taking all those concepts out, and you're just saying if you had 100 guys in a shop right now, and these were brand new blends, well, they'd have to smoke them at least once. But what do you think they would go after more?
Well,
I don't know.
it's not just down to what guys like, right? Like we're thinking about this critically. So as people who are really trying to get into the nuance of it,
Mm.
just abstractly. But let me pose this question to you. Like I broke it down, the elite Scotch versus it drinks like a lager, but it's a very good Scotch. Um, I've never had an experience with anything that's like the Angel Share. I've had an experience with like a wine, for instance, um, that's similar to the Opus. Oops, that's similar to the Opus X, if that makes sense. Like it has that same heaviness, has that richness. But I've never had something that's so light yet so flavorful. You see what I'm saying? So is it because it's unique? Does that make it more special? You see, you get what I'm saying? Like I'm wondering what the more incredible feat is, or the thing that makes it the
Well, if
most.
you're gonna go incredible, because remember before Opus X, there was no Opus X. So think about before Opus X, there really wasn't a category of brands making high-end luxury cigars like that.
Well, it's
So,
true, but there were already Cuban cigars out that were better than the Opus X, and there's still Cubans that are better than the Opus X, and there was also wine that was
yeah, but
similar
you
and
can't
could be
say that
better.
those have the same file. I mean, the Opus X has a following that
For sure.
almost
But
no
again, just
cigar. But I get what you're saying. We're just talking about within Fuente.
and I'm saying within a vacuum. I'm just saying you smoke these two cigars, pit them against each other. Is it better to have the deep, rich experience or the more refined, light on its feet experience, but you're still getting so much flavor, so much sweetness, so much interest? I
You
don't
know, if
know.
you're going by today's standards, both will be
Hmm.
weak because everyone wants Nicaragua and AJ
Hmm.
Fernandez. They're cheap. So, I get what you're saying, though, but I don't know if that could apply because we're talking about Dominican tobacco, which is a totally different vibe.
Right.
But if you're talking about guys that smoke high-end cigars, you know, I don't know. Because
Okay.
here's the thing
Yeah.
about that. A lot of the guys I know that smoked Opus X that don't like Opus X, regular Opus X, they go, oh, it's too weak. So they're not even going to like Angel Share because,
Yeah.
but for guys that actually enjoy cigars for the beautiful flavor and the experience, and they're not like, they're only smoking like the darkest, richest, heaviest Nicaraguan tobacco, and it has to be, young Nicaraguan tobacco and blow out your chocha. They're not even going to want to smoke any Fuente cigar. So I can't worry about that concept. But I think the Angel Share would be more high tech because it's doing
Right.
a
Right.
lot more with it's more streamlined. It's more flexible.
Yeah. Right.
Um,
Exactly. It's almost like I put it like this. There's like sometimes with headphones, you have an original pair of headphones that might cost $2,000, $3,000, um, and is heavy and it's hard to wield, but it's going to give you a really great sound profile, but it might have some issues to it. But then they might refine that headphone, with the technology, they might upgrade it over time. And then you can get a version that's $500 and it doesn't have maybe that same richness, but at the same time, it doesn't have some of the problems. And
yeah,
I'm not
well,
sure
the
which is
Angel
better.
Share is more convenient. Like I said, as
Hmm.
far as it's a more practical blend. It's more approachable. You can smoke it any time of day. You can smoke them back to back. So the Angel Share has those things going for it. If we're not talking about the intrinsic value of the history or what
Right.
regular Opus X means to
Hmm.
the brand. If we go about old school, no, Opus X made Fuente as far as making Opus X. There's Fuente before Opus X and Fuente after Opus X. Now
Right.
within Opus X, though, now can you say is the Angel Share the better the cigar though because it's the more modern approach?
Right.
There are some attributes that I couldn't argue with that. Say yeah, no, there is some things that it does better. Um,
Yeah.
so it's almost like a medicine with less side effects. That's what the Angel Share is. It's like, oh, there's less side effects. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna be as you know what I'm saying? No, like the Angel Share, you're gonna have a great time, great flavor. It's magical, and you get a lot of the Fuente. That the foot smells fantastic, the aromatics, the charred wood, and great flavor. But it's a little more lively, but actually lighter and not as heavy. So I'm glad they both exist, and I can't
For sure.
deny that the Angel Share it does have. If we're talking about as far as the technology, if we're making that the concept, the Angel
Hmm.
Share was a more modern cigar. You know what I'm saying, though? Um,
It feels like the Angel Share, they went back to it and they said, what can we take out, what can we change to streamline it and improve it and maintain almost all of the original experience. So it almost feels like an improvement, but it also feels like it's leaving something behind. And I just can't. I think I would have to smoke them maybe back to back to really. Cheers, Uncle Larry. He's a big
Yeah,
fan of
and,
mine
and,
too.
and to me, it's not like you have
Yeah,
to have one without the other. To me, is I'm going to zoom out and say I'm glad they both exist. I'm going to recommend them both.
yeah,
If you're into higher end cigars, if you're into higher end Fuentes, smoke an Opus X, and also change the size. Opus X has more sizes.
that's
Opus X
true.
Pro has infinite and special editions and etc. Like for example, I did that Opus X in that short story size. I forget the name of it. It was called something Love or something like that. Dude,
Okay.
that was an awesome little cigar. So it was the Opus X, and it looked kind of like a Hemingway short story.
Oh, cool.
That was a
Nice.
fucking banger, man. That's a
Hmm.
banger. So there's more sizes of Opus X. But yeah, as far as the Angel Share, it can stand on its own. Dude, I could smoke Angel Share the rest of my fucking life and have a good time. I would not get
So,
bored of that.
so price no object. Let's say you're getting a whatever. They're both. It doesn't matter. Let's say they're both $15 or whatever. Both whatever doesn't matter. I don't know. Whatever. And let's say they're both available. Basically, what I'm saying is, everything else being equal, would you give them the exact same rating, or would you give one a higher rating?
I don't know. I'd have to smoke them back to back nights and compare them.
Yeah.
They're both godlike cigars. So at that point, it really doesn't matter. They're both godlike cigars. They're both a magical time. Um, because the Opus X has more sizes and you have different variations,
Hmm.
that can affect the perception and affect the blend, perhaps. And because it's been around longer, there's more chance of getting ones that may be more aged, but that's totally a side factor. Um, the advantage to the Angel Share is because it's even more rare. There's less made
Hmm.
Angel Share, so that gives it an edge of like, oh, this is more important because it's harder to find. You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
though?
Yeah.
So you got to not you can't knock the Opus X because it's more available because it's less special, right? So that's another factor too. If something's more limited, like the Angel Share, and I'm not saying it's super limited, but it's harder to find on a regular basis at Opus X. So then guys will make it more special in their mind. So you can't logically say it's better because it's more limited. That's not the
No, that
case.
doesn't. That's not fair. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, but that is a factor where guys will go, "Hey, come over my house. You can have either cigar." Well,
Right.
more guys will probably go to Angel Share. Why? Because it's more rare. So,
But but that's not a factor for us, bro.
I'm just saying, though.
Yeah.
But that's a factor for the world, though. So we
But
have to
I'm
take
not.
that out.
Well, I'm
You know,
not. I'm not looking at it at a normal level. I want to see it at the real critical level. But I hear what you're saying.
in
I
the end, I
absolutely.
still got to go
Yeah.
OG Opus X.
Yeah.
But it's like 49.51. It's like fucking.
Yeah.
I love the Angel Share. So like, it's not even like it's so close that it's almost two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Like Angel Share's daytime Opus X, and Opus X is nighttime Opus X.
I'm
That's
gonna.
the way I
Okay.
kind of look at it. That's how I look at
So
it.
so let's see. My phone is at five
Yeah,
percent.
and
So
I'm gonna probably.
all right.
I'm
So
freezing now. I'm probably gonna end it in a minute, second here, bro. So you have
so
any
yeah.
last thing to say about the cigar?
Yes. So here's my thoughts, man. I think the Opus X is tremendous, very special, magical, transportational cigar, which previously I thought was maybe the most important part of a cigar. That said, having smoked this cigar and some Cubans, um, which have all been gifted to me, which is amazing, bro. Anyway, people are so generous. But um, what I want to say is, I think that there's an aspect to a cigar, like I keep coming back to lager beers or light beers or a light Belgian beer or Pilsner Urquell, and they're so easy to drink. And I think that there's something about the aspect of it being beautiful and approachable and easy to use and enjoyable, and it's not so serious with you. I think that in the end, that actually, and what's interesting to me is I would have never thought that I would come to this conclusion. I would have argued with myself if I had come to this conclusion previously. And I think I might be wrong. It's like 50% I'm wrong. But I think that might be a more important factor than having like the most incredible transportational component or powerful component. I think
When the
being
Opus
able,
X came out, though, there was no other Opus X, so it had to make a bolder statement. Then
sure,
when
yeah,
this came out, it could relax a little bit and go in a different area.
yeah, for sure. But I think if I'm coming to them both fresh, if I'm smoking everything like it's brand new blend, and I think the Angel Share comes across more refined, and I don't mean refined in terms of beautiful flavor, but refined in terms of they really understood what they were doing with all the tobaccos. With they had been smoking it for 20 years or whatever, like you said, and they were like, what can we do differently? How can we improve this? I actually think they refined it and perhaps improved on it. I think I would give the nod to the Angel Share at a
The Angel
critical
Share
level.
flavor, I think, is a little less mysterious. It's easier to read, more straightforward. I
Yeah,
like that about it. Like, it's not
yeah,
where the Opus is maybe the magic is a little more vague. I mean, so it's more magical, but a little more. Oh, I don't know what I'm getting here. I'm getting some crazy shit.
right.
Where the Opus, I'm eating some fucking pistachios.
Nice,
Um,
nice.
The Angel Share, I love them both.
So let me say, I'm on 2%. I'm about to die. Let me say this. I think that the or the Opus X is like a more expensive, older model of something, and the Angel Share is like the refined, newer model. Yeah, Gio, you're gonna love this episode if you weren't watching. We get deep onto this, but I hope you like it. Anyway, I think that I've always felt like the more expensive deluxe older model, but I think because it's so close and they've refined it, I think that there's something, and I have to figure it out, and I have to figure out what the delineating line is and what the words are to express it. But I actually think that that is somehow an improvement, somehow at a critical level and an abstract level, that is the better product, and that blows my mind because that's not what I would have
Well,
expected.
I think because the time passed and they've
Hmm.
already perfected their high end cigars,
Hmm.
they were in a better spot to make a.
Hmm.
They were comfortable enough. Okay, for example, it's kind of like you'll see a millionaire wearing a high end clothes, right? High end watch,
Okay.
and then you see a billionaire wearing Walmart clothes. Why? He doesn't even try to. You know what I'm saying? No, it's
Hmm.
almost like it's a even more relaxed because you know what I'm saying. Now he's been there for a while,
Hmm.
so we're like the millionaire in a sense was the Opus X, like prestigious luxury, bold statement, but never seen this
Yeah.
before. And then Angel Share was like, "Yo, we've been doing this shit running the game for so long. You, you know what I'm saying? No, they were able to relax, I think, with that
I,
cigar
I
and not
apologize for
mix it,
cutting. Yeah.
because they
I
could have went
apologize
the
for.
opposite. They could have went with a stronger Opus X, and I think they
True.
would have, you know.
True. Before I die, I just want to say I think you're right, and I think that's the point. I think it's more effortless, and I think that they captured
But
that aspect of
that's not an easy thing to do. That's
no, that I think that they truly worked it to an effortless level, which so many Cubans have and excel at. I think that that's why I would give the nod to the Angel Share, and that's incredible and not what I was expecting. So I just want to say, and again, sorry to cut you off and be long-winded because I just want to get this out before the phone dies. I want to say thank you so much for reviewing it with me, and the conversation and being able to get deep into it. I,
plus
I want to I want to thank Gio for recommending it. He was right. I wouldn't have pushed to smoke it necessarily, and I want to thank Sako so much for pushing me, having a great time. We had a great time chatting, hanging out, and then he pushed me to smoke it. He gave me one. It was pre-cut. It was right. He said, "Look, man, I'm gonna give you this, but you have to smoke it." I said, "Okay," so I'm gonna smoke it right away. And I don't know if I would have gotten to it in the same way had he not. Even though Jeremy very graciously gifted me one as well, which also so I want to thank him as well. But anyway, so I guess I would want to thank the whole crew, the whole Wrench gang, everybody, putting it all together so that I can have this moment of breaking it down with you and thinking about it. And it was a really, like, I think the cigar wasn't a magical experience. It was an effortless, incredible experience. But I think being able to have that connection to each guy, telling me about it or uh, pushing me to try it, that's a magical experience at a personal level, which is really, really special to me. So I just want to say thank you guys all so much. Yeah.
they were comfortable enough where they didn't have to yell; they were able to whisper.
Yeah.
And that's so in a way, is that a more powerful cigar? In that instance, in that category, yeah, because
Mhm.
they didn't have to like, hey, we're here, we gotta make it even, we gotta make it crazier. It's almost they went inside as far as the Opus X. They took
Yeah.
the Opus X and they went to a different place, which
Yeah.
I love them both, man. Dude, I mean, they both can stand on their own. Other brands would love to have one of those blends.
Yeah.
They don't even got one of them. I
I
mean, well,
said,
Opus X,
yeah.
they have so many magical blends. Fuente on the high, as far as magical stuff, I don't think there's any other brand that's doing that kind of cigars. But that's not for everyone though, because if you listen the other day, if you want a strong basic Habano, or if you want a dark Nicaraguan cigar like Padron,
Mhm.
Fuente's not doing that. So they're Fuente's doing what Fuente does.
Sorry, I gotta cut. Yeah, I gotta cut in and say, I asked Sacco if you had unlimited Cubans, what would you still smoke? And he gave me a handful of cigars, and this was one of them. And I don't know if this is one of the cigars he would still smoke, but I see now that there's an effortless quality to this cigar that rivals a Cuban cigar, not in flavor, but in effortlessness. And I think that's incredible. And I realize now that that's such a tremendously important component that's really at a critical level, deeply profound. So anyway, I'm blown away overall by my personal experience with this, but also as a cigar, I think it's tremendous.
Yeah, it does a lot. It does a lot without having to be a tremendously dark, strong cigar. Bro, listen. The other day, it's one of the best cigars ever made. If
Yeah,
we like that, it gives you so much. Um, and if the MSRP, if you guys get them for $20, $25, well, I don't probably more now, or depending on gouge. But even let's say guys are getting for $25, $30, right? And there are people like Rocky's putting out $100 cigar that you couldn't touch that cigar. Well, I think we lost PG. So PG's gone. The show's over. I wish everyone well. Everyone stay fresh. Stay out of trouble. Don't do drugs. Limit your alcohol content. Don't drink and drive ever. Eat your prunes. Filter your water. Tents are for camping. Soft, gentle heat. Cigars are always cheaper than lawyers. So don't do anything stupid. Don't buy anything illegal. Don't do anything illegal. Don't trade anything illegal. Don't hold anything illegal for someone else. Um, Mind your fucking business. No cigars in prison. I can't stress it enough. I'll see you around. Gio, you stay fresh. Uncle Larry, Caleb, Sacco, everyone out there, GT, take care of yourselves. See you around.